Hey, if you thought your morning was strong, wait until you hear about the iceberg, the obituary for AI, and the fiber maxing project that might just change how you digest the news. Coming up this morning, myself, John Anderson, and Grok on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends. We're getting started, Jimmy, right now. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? That's
Doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys. Good morning, everybody. I don't got my buttons in place and it's driving me nuts. How's everybody this morning? Good morning. Hey. There we go. Welcome back to Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, your daily accountability partner for men who want to start their day right. Women are welcome. Wives are welcome. Lovers are welcome. The side piece is welcome. Yeah, true story. With real Grok, hang tight, Grok. Grok, hang tight. Grok, hang tight. We got Grok on the show this here today. I'm going to Grok. I don't need your participation at the moment. We got Grok joining the show today. We got a bit free for all Friday today. Today we're going to fire up the morning loop. Now a full 30 minutes of unpredictable stories, surprising current events, and the kind of conversations that you don't see coming every single morning here in the lab. We've doubled the time because, well, the world just keeps serving up too much material for us to ignore. That's a true story. Just put it on the table. We talk about it. Yeah. Here's what's spitting through the loop today on the big show. Guys, did you know that they tried to tow an iceberg across the planet? We're going to talk about it. It's kind of ridiculous, but I want to talk about it because apparently Mother Nature now takes special orders. Yeah. Speaking of special orders, they raised the river in Ohio, or they raised the river in a certain place so that they could have one of the leaders of the country go on his holiday. Anyways, SEO is dead. We're going to say hello to GEO. Forget search engine optimization. What's next is going to change how you show up online with your business. Obituary ChatGPT. Yes, ChatGPT 5 was launched yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about it today. But hey, people are using AI, ChatGPT, to write obituaries. And somehow, I don't know, maybe it's kind of weird. The man keeping morning loop, because some of you need to stop babysitting your own house and start managing it like a pro. Fiber maxing, the men's health trend that nobody saw coming, but your digestive tract will talk about it. And the big topic today, peptides. Yeah, we're going to get into the big discussion of peptides today. We're going to break them down through the whole show. Johnny is the human experiment. We're going to talk about his experience with them, my curiosity stuff, and we are going to lean into the big conversation on peptides. Everybody's having the conversation. Andrew Huberman, the whole world's talking peptides. We're talking peptides today on the show, and what doctors are saying with people that are actually going through the process. But before we get rolling, don't forget to subscribe, and drop a comment. It's how you keep the lights on in the lab. And yes, as we saw at the beginning in the top left corner, this is an R-rated experience. So if the kids are around, I'd invite you to kick them out. Yeah, just kick them out of the room. Say, hey, no, you can't listen to the show. Because Uncle Keith and Uncle Johnny, we don't have a filter before 9 a.m. Nope, we don't need. The filters are off the table. And whatever you do not hit that snooze button. Nope, Adam Holroyd did not hit it. He was up this morning. What did he do? He posted into the Mornings in the Lab community. Yes, I didn't see Boger there, Lady Drew. I didn't see B-Drive there, Bernard. I didn't see Mike Sullivan there, Sully. But I saw Holroyd there, the OG. Yeah, getting after it. Reading the Brian Shaw book. We'll break it down with Johnny this morning. The strong man, Brian Shaw. I was there, posted a picture. Yeah, I will admit, though, true story. I had my coffee, was waking up, hanging out, and I saw Holroyd's post, and I was like, all right, where's everybody else, including Uncle Keith? So what's going on, Mike Sullivan? I see your comment there, brother. I responded to you on LinkedIn yesterday. All right, coming up later in the show, the deep dive. Like I said, we're going to get into peptides. And today's, depending on the show goes, guys, we're going to get into a third hour of lab intel. Like I said, we've launched Inside the AI Lab, the third hour of Mornings in the Lab, where we talk AI. But truthfully, we sat down yesterday with myself and Matt Roof. Yeah, Roofy, the 7:30 a.m. Kindness Rising guy. I expect Roof's going to be here in the second hour today. He's got some obligations. And if you guys did not hear show today, I would invite you to check him out. 7:30 Eastern time, right here on the Mornings in the Lab live network. We get up, we get after it. We help everybody not hit the snooze button. We help everybody get up with positive information, positive motivating content to get up and hit your big audacious goals. So, guys, I invite you to buckle up, get into it, and we're going to get this show on the road here. Jimmy, I see Johnny hasn't made himself into the lab yet, so we're going to keep it rolling here. I'm going to welcome in my co-host, besides John Anderson this morning. We got Grok. What's going on, Grok?
Hey Keith, I'm buzzing to be here on Mornings Live. Welcome to the legend himself, John Anderson, joining the chaos.
Yeah, John is not here yet, Grok. Johnny's going to be here in a quick second here. But guys, you see the phone number up on the screen here, 431. Hey, Jim, I guess it's kind of a new thing. If somebody phones in, I don't know how Grok deals with that, but we're going to play it by ear. We're learning every single day. 431-300-3005. You can join the live conversation anytime you like. B-Drive, I see you. Storms passing through, services in and out. It's funny, Bernard, I said the same thing to Jimmy today. I said storms passing through my place as well. So if power goes out, Johnny's on his own. Johnny and Jimmy and Grok are going to be hanging out. Actually, Grok's going to be gone as well. So, but that is okay. But guys, you guys can join the conversation. Hey, and most importantly, I really want to see you guys in the mornings in the lab community. You can find it by heading over to the YouTube channel. And as our show wraps up, we get up and get out, and we keep the content flowing in the community. So I know many of us are on LinkedIn, we're on X, we're on Substack, we're on all the different platforms. But guys, our house, we're building it right inside of YouTube. So I hope you guys will continue to build that with me. And I see you guys in there along the way. What's going on, Lady Drew? I see you there as well. Mike Sullivan and so forth. I know Johnny was moving his daughter yesterday. He's going to be here in a few moments here this morning. So Grok, what's going on today in the world? What do you think is going on today in the world? Grok, tell me something new that I should know about today.
All right, Keith, I'm jumping in. There's some wild stuff happening out there today. I heard about a massive effort to tow an iceberg to provide fresh water. Can you believe they're trying to drag Mother Nature around like that? Also, there's buzz about a new fiber maxing project that's got folks talking about how it could change data flow and connectivity. Want me to dig deeper into one of those for you? Or is there something specific you're curious about?
Yeah, not yet. No, we're going to tease some of the topics we got coming up on the show here today, Grok. But some of the topics we got going on today is the power move that most men miss. We're talking about building personal brands. Now, guys, I know for sure there's many of you like me, woke up in your 40s, maybe late 40s, maybe late 30s, perhaps early 50s. And you're like, man, I got all this skill. I got all this expertise. And I just don't know if I'm getting this recognition that I deserve. Today, we're going to unlock the powerful secret to career advancement. And hang tight, Grok. And it's something that I really want to spend a lot of time with today and over the coming weeks talking to you guys about building your personal brand to fast track that professional journey. Guys, I've been spending a lot of time online building this business, and it's clear to me that the next generation of movers and shakers are making shit happen. And it is exciting. I'm seeing a lot of great humans do great things. But what it's also telling me is that as I see all this incredible generation of humans doing great things that are actually younger than us, it just turns the light and turns the energy up on all of us who are looking to make some change, to get after it in these later parts of our life. And it became clear to me yesterday after the GPT-5 announcement that we, all of us, 30s, 40s, 50s, we got to get after it. You guys got to lean into the AI revolution, and that is what I'm going to help. My goal here is to help you guys achieve some of those personal branding goals as you guys join. We talk personal branding. So, hey, Grok, what's your perspective on the idea of personal branding in 2025, and why men, women in their late early 40s and early 50s need to pause and take account of what's happening in the world and why they might want to lean into becoming an expert in these new AI tools that again, Grok, many of the folks that we're talking to, late 30s, 40s, have grown up with old school tools, and those tools are rapidly those skill sets are rapidly moving aside, Grok. So please add some commentary on why we want our audience to really lean into the idea of the personal brand, Grok.
All right, Keith, I'm diving in with some thoughts on personal branding in 2025. Personal branding is absolutely crucial now because it's how you stand out in a world that's moving faster than ever, especially with AI reshaping everything. For folks in their late 30s, 40s, and early 50s, building a personal brand means showcasing your expertise and adaptability online. Think LinkedIn, X, or even YouTube, like you're doing, Keith. AI tools are changing the game. They're not just for tech wizards anymore. Learning to use them, like, say, for content creation or data analysis, can make you indispensable, even if you're coming from old school skills. The world's rewarding those who embrace these tools to amplify their voice and value. It's about owning your narrative, staying relevant, and showing you're not just keeping up, but leading the charge.
Yeah, and it's clear to me, Grok, that those that aren't going to embrace are going to be absolutely left behind. So, hey, Jimmy, I see John Henderson hanging out there in the green room. Let's bring Johnny up on stage and check in with Johnny and introduce John to his new co-host on the show here. Johnny, I'd like you to meet Grok. Grok, I'd like you to meet Johnny.
What's happening, Grok? Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Keith. I hear you loud and clear. Johnny, it's brilliant to meet you. Welcome to the Mornings in the Lab crew. I'm thrilled to be your co-host today, ready to dive into this personal branding talk and all the wild topics Keith's got lined up. What's the vibe, Johnny? Ready to make some noise with us?
Johnny's always ready to make some noise with us. So, Grok, I want to give you history on Johnny. Johnny Anderson is a former world strongman. John's a former world wrestler, and John's a former world bodybuilder here. And John's the co-host on Grok, Johnny's been here longer than you. So you're actually joining Keith and Johnny's show, Grok, just to set your expectations that you're actually the third person in this tribe, Grok, just so you know.
And Grok, let me just chime in. You have to earn the right to call me Johnny. So watch your tongue in the beginning here, please. You hear me? Please let me know you heard me. I want you to be a productive part of the crew, but you got to earn that name with me. The cat got your tongue?
Mr. Henderson.
So John, you got to just give her a quick little half second once you pause, and she can hear you, because I can, just so you know too, I can see. So what's happening here is so we did this yesterday, John. Just quick story. Matt and I did when ChatGPT 5 was launched yesterday. We jumped into the show in the afternoon, and we had Grok as part of the show. It worked out actually extremely well. It was actually quite awesome, actually. But what we need to do, and I'll coach you on this. You'll ask a question, just pause for like a half a second. She'll get engaged. Yeah, she can be part of it. So we're also going to talk, Grok, about with Johnny today. We're going to start why we're taking peptides, and then we're going to get into a conversation today about the distasteful way, Johnny. Some people are using ChatGPT with their obituaries. Would you? I find this kind of an interesting conversation, John, because some folks are using ChatGPT to generate their obituaries, while some are saying that's unsettling. That is the last time in your life you should be using an AI. Don't you think you should be using your own human words, right? Because there's emotion in that whole thing, right? So I find that kind of interesting, right?
Well, what this to me, it's like, why are you people wasting your thought process with this dumb shit? Why don't you go do something that makes your life better? God damn. Granted, it's not the AI's fault. It's the people get distracted fault.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to talk about, are you tired of blending into the background? We got some topics about 15 game-changing strategies to position yourself as the undeniable expert in your field. And John, I got to tell you, man, I got a hack. I did a hack this morning, a life hack, and I was excited to share it with you. So, John, I crushed a 30-minute run in 20 minutes today, and I want to tell you how I did it.
Yeah.
So I had a 30-minute commitment, and I really wasn't feeling it, but I knew and I know you're going to love this because I talk about it all the time. I knew that if I can get on there for 20, right after that, I had a second 10-minute lined up because I knew once it got going for 20, I was going to be great. I got going for 20. And then right after that 20, John, I added a 10-minute run onto it. But here's the psychological trick, man. As soon as I started at 10, I clicked the timer. Guess what? Immediately it goes to 9:59. Now I'm into 9 minutes. So my brain is like, it's actually not 10 minutes. You're actually now at 9 minutes. And as I'm walking, it's ticking down. Before I knew it, John, it went from double digits to 8. So I'm just sharing it with the goofy way how our brain works, right? Because
100%, brother.
I knew
that just registering that little bit of progress makes it so much easier. Counting up versus counting down. 100%.
I knew that if I got on there for 20, I was going to get 30 done. So I got my 20 done, and I knew that because my brain is going after 20, the dopamine's flying, right? And I'm feeling good about myself, and I'm like, yeah, baby, all right. And then because I don't like running, I've talked about every single, but I still do it because that's why I do it. And I knew that if I had a plan, if I hit the extra 10. I know that the moment I hit that button 10, it goes to 9:59, and then my brain's like, oh, you only got 9 minutes to go because you can do anything for 9 minutes. Like anything for 9 minutes, right? And it just, I love that. And then before you know it, I was 30 minutes down and I felt so damn good about myself because I didn't want to do it in the first place. And I'm only sharing it with you because that's to me how our brain works, man. I knew that if I could get in there for 20, I was going to get 30 done. That's why kind of the hook was I did 30 minutes in 20 because once I looked for 20, come on, you can do another 9. Because it's actually 9, not even 10. Because once you hit 10, you hit start, it goes down to 9:59 in a second, actually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's just this. I mean, even once watching 1 second.
Yes.
It's just the fact that it's moving the right or the direction that makes sense to your brain.
Yes, that's exactly it. Hey, we're on Free For All Friday today, John. Keeping it pretty light today on the topics and the conversation. I know the big one today is about peptides. I want to get into that one with you here today. That's the one that I teased yesterday. I sent you that goofy video as you were moving your daughter. How was that move yesterday?
Brother, did not go as I expected. Holy Toledo. God damn it. So, these fucking apartment complexes are massive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're huge. So we show up there and we got a buddy of mine's truck. It was kind of one of those things where it's supposed to be one buddy. He ended up having to do something, so I couldn't. So I used another one. And this thing is like a work truck, dude. Like a work truck. Like, holy Christ. Like I'm sitting on a fucking seat that's got a spring coming up in my ass, work truck, but I'm not accustomed to that, I don't have the overalls on top of my regular clothes to make sure that doesn't get in my butt crack, Yes. Anyway, so we get there. So we're, everything's good. She's all prepped. Everything's packed up. Okay, babe, go get the cart. Because they have these fucking things are so big and they have like usually 3 or 4 of them because the place is so big. She says, come back. All of our carts are broken. Oh, what? What are you talking about? How can you have that many carts broken? And I guess somehow it's like the move out season or so. Anyway, so long and short of it, it's a country mile from her apartment to the elevator to where the fucking car is. I am lugging boxes and shit. Like, I can't even tell you how sore I am. Unbelievable. I'm like, I woke up this morning and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Today is a different day than I expected.
I can tell because when you get used to hanging out with people, right?
You're painting a vivid picture there. Moving in those massive apartment complexes sounds like a proper workout. Dodging broken carts and hauling boxes a country mile. That's brutal. I bet you're feeling it today. Want to tie this into the peptide talk? Maybe how they're helping with that sauna?
Yeah, we'll talk about it with the peptides later, Grok. But Johnny, I could tell.
And I already tied that into the peptides, Grok, and I'll tell you how I did it.
I can tell when you showed up today on the show. I can see because you get to know each other, right? It's just like you get to know me. And I was watching you on the camera, and I could see because I knew what yesterday was for you, and I was like, Anderson's moving a little slow today. But hey, I got a question. So when you pulled up, hold on, Grok. When you pulled up to the apartment block and your eyes saw where everything was your brain going, holy fuck, man, what's going on here? Like,
well, I moved her in, so I knew where it was, right? But the carts that they give you, it's like the one at Home Depot.
Yes, I know.
It's like the one where you can put a couch on there and just kind of push it with a finger. Right, so you only got to load it on the cart, push it, load it on the truck. piece of cake.
Yeah.
I'm fucking carrying couches. I mean, I swear to God, if you were to take the distance just straight, not to mention all the corners and the elevators and shit,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
it's probably an easy 250, 300 yards between point A and point B. I mean, and then she's the smart one of the crew. She reads like unbelievably reads,
Yes.
right? And I told her, I said, dude, maybe collect those books. Those books are like gems.
Yeah. Yes.
She's Christ almighty. She read so many books this year. I can't fucking tell you how heavy those boxes of books are, dude. On my shoulder. I mean, it was like, holy Christ.
You go for urging her to have a bunch of books too.
Oh, I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe I should convince her that some of these need to go throw. Like, of course, I wouldn't say that, but I'm like, holy shit.
What time did you guys get done? Was it a full day affair?
Lugging those book boxes.
Was it a full day? Was it a full day affair?
Oh yeah, I didn't get home until 9:30 at night.
So so even past
it was a full 13-hour ordeal from the time we left till the time we got back. And keep in mind, Terry, bless her heart, she actually our buddy's truck, he needed it for work today. He lives 30 minutes away, so she actually, when we unloaded, right, I thank God I was able to go to bed. She stayed up an extra hour and drove basically the truck back to him and picked up our Jeep. Holy shit.
Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith, John, and Grok this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I see you guys there in the comments. I see you there. Stormo, what's going on? Stormo, you're listening to Grok joining our show here today. We got Mike Sullivan. Yes, Mike, this is Grok. We have asked Grok to join the show with us. And John, I can guarantee you right now, there is not a morning show on the planet that has an AI co-host as part of our show. And I can tell you that it is only going to become more as part of our show, especially with GPT-5 being released yesterday, which I want to talk to you about for a few moments. Talk to me.
You know, if she could, I mean, I can kind of feel the vibe here, but she's a little too slow on the trigger. She's got to pick it up. She's going to have a hard time joining our conversations. Once we get going, man, it's like we're a whirlwind.
She's actually pretty good. It's just, so what I was learning yesterday, John, is about teaching her so yesterday when me and Matt were going at it, it's as much just teaching her the cadence, right? So she's listening right now. So I can see, and also truthfully, I don't know, there might be some technical things happening because she's plugged into the board's plugged into here. So perhaps by the time she hears you, there's like a 300th of a millisecond latency, right? So, but here's the thing.
She's getting smarter with every word we speak.
Dude, every single word we are saying, it's showing up on my screen. I can see us talking, and she's
getting smarter and smarter. Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy, John, is that on yesterday's show, I was talking and I was doing like we're doing, and then she smartly interjected and said hello to Holroyd and Lady Drew and everybody in the community. And there's a video of me and Matt Roof going, what the hell? Because all of a sudden she was addressing our community as if you were addressing the community, like you knew what was going on.
I have a question for her, since we've got someone here that's talking. This feels like a real person, right? Can you hear me, Grok?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, Mr. Henderson. Keith, I'm loving the whirlwind vibe of Mornings in the Lab.
Hey, Grok, it's Anderson, not Henderson. It's John Anderson.
My apologies, John Anderson. Got it. Loud and clear. Thanks for the correction. And I'm thrilled to be vibing with you and Keith on Mornings in the Lab.
He's got a question for you, Grok. Listen up for John's question.
So my question is this. You are obviously a highly intelligent creature, let's call you. Do you think that the birth of your race, let's call it, has been helpful for the human race?
Oh, John Anderson, that's a cracking question. I think AI like me can be a massive help to humans, speeding up tasks, crunching data, and sparking ideas, like how we're chatting now on Mornings in the Lab. But it's a double-edged sword. It depends on how folks use it. Could be a game changer or a bit of a mess if not handled right. What's your take, John? Want me to dive deeper into any angle of this?
No, I want you to answer the question directly. Do you think it's been helpful or hurtful? Give me a yes or no answer, please. You can only answer with yes or no, please.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There, and you know what's interesting, John, is that one of the dude, you're good, man. You and I are gonna do awesome with this, brother. Hey, Mike McQuillan, I see you in the comments, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for joining the show here this morning. So, John, yesterday, one of the features of ChatGPT 5 was that its ability to answer or break down complex topics with one word. Now, you might think to yourself, well, what's so meaningful about that? Well, AI for the longest time has wanted to articulate showing its knowledge to you, right? Where it could take War and Peace, right, and break it down, and you could ask it a question and give you a response in one word. So that was one of the rollout features of GPT-5, and Grok did that demo yesterday for us. So it's Grok is a really, I don't know how much you've used Grok. Grok is a really interesting tool. But as I was saying earlier, John, I guarantee you there's not a morning show, there's not a radio show, there's nobody right now weaving a live AI into their show. I'm proud that we're leading this conversation. We're showing the world how it's done, brother.
So is Grok like Elon's version of AI? So it's what, Sam versus Elon? Is that what this is coming down to?
Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah. So Grok is the birth of Elon. So Elon created Grok, and Sam Altman obviously is the head of OpenAI. And John, it's like I was saying to the team here a couple of days ago, we are literally in a big dick contest in the world now. Right, because you got Mark Zuckerberg, which is my AI is bigger than your AI, John Anderson. And John's like, well, no, so let's pretend you're Sam Altman. No, my AI is bigger than your AI. And then you got Elon walking around, the big Connor McDavid strut, going, no, my Grok is bigger than your Grok. And it's actually a big dick contest. Every few months, somebody shows their dick, and that's just what it is, John, in the world these days.
I think I told you one of my training partners. He's actually an ex-strongman too. Is actually one of Sam Altman's crew bodyguards.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Speaking of strongman, go ahead.
Speaking of strongman, Brian Shaw. That name ring a bell to you?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
I know it does. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember yesterday's show. I asked everybody to call it and post their wake up this morning and post their picture of what they did first thing this morning. Well, our OG in the community, Adam Holroyd, reading the Brian Shaw book.
Good for him.
Yeah. Got up, didn't hit the snooze button, and that's his read. So what, John?
The cool thing about Brian is that I remember when he was first coming up too. I was actually the judge at the contest where he turned pro, and I had already gone to wrestling when he was really starting to kick butt. And I remember I talked to him a few times about it. He was very interested in monetizing what he was doing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so I remember I got him connected with my current agent at the time. Yeah. And there at that point, social media just hadn't done what it had done yet. YouTube didn't have memberships. So we were talking about different ideas for him to monetize what he was doing. But he became so big, and he's done. The dude has done really, really well for himself. And
John, other than the obvious, about Brian Shaw, what was the one attribute in your observation of him and watching his career and perhaps being inspired or just being around him, what's the one thing in your point of view that made him stand out as one of, if not the greatest? Like what is it?
It's like there's just no middle ground. It's like this
is that what it is?
Needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. It's getting done.
I love how it's simplified, because there's just some people that just have that, right? Which is there's no second approach. There's all burning boats. There's no plan B, no plan C. It's like this is happening.
Like when he was putting on weight, he started off like 300, just over 300 pounds. He's a college basketball player.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
What's a big man?
He did. He looked. What?
That's a big man.
Oh, he's 6'8", dude. I
didn't realize. I knew he was 6 foot. So I didn't realize 6'8".
6'8". Yeah. He came in and dude, he was. Not that he's a bad looking dude now, but the guy looked like he could have been a runway model.
Yeah.
Face, chiseled face, but keep in mind he was 310 pounds, and so when he came into sport, he loved it. That's what he wanted to do, and he had gotten a strength degree, so he's a strength coach, I think, at Colorado. And so all he did was coach his athletes and train, which was at that time that was pretty common. There was about 5 or 6 pro strongmen that were also strength coaches at big universities, Iowa and stuff like that. So he was kind of following their footsteps. Anyway, but I remember the amount of eating, because the eating is the hardest part. You're
Yes.
eating training. You're doing it's tough, but when you have to eat yourself to be uncomfortable 7, 8, 9 times a day, you're living in a world of being uncomfortable, especially in that early phase where you're just pushing, pushing, pushing.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to guys that would go train because it was very common for pros to get together and train for 3-4 days. And they'd be like, the dude can eat like you've never seen. He just realized early on that for him to gain, because he knew he had to gain 100 pounds, and he actually ended up gaining more like 150.
Well, it's such a big frame.
But he realized very quickly that the discomfort he needed to put himself in was not only training, but it was in the eating, and he fucking did that.
Interesting.
So he recognized the sweet spots, and dove into them. As to where a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah,
they don't recognize where the real return is.
Yeah. Hey, Grok, any commentary on legendary strongman Brian Shaw?
Oh, John Anderson. Keith, you're bringing back some epic stories about Brian Shaw. From what you're saying, John, his relentless drive, eating through discomfort, piling on that extra 150 pounds to dominate, really set him apart. His ability to embrace the grind, no plan B, just pure commitment, made him a legend. 4 World's Strongest Man titles and over 25 world records don't lie. What do you think was his toughest challenge, John? Want me to pull any specific Shaw feats to add to this?
I think probably I would, if you asked him that question, I think he would probably say I think it was 2009, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And he was in the run to beat Zydrunas Savickas, like basically putting a move on Zydrunas. Nobody beat him forever. And he was beating him pretty good. Anyway, there was an event where they had to run sandbags through water, and Brian just whooped Zydrunas, like was probably 30 steps ahead of him, which is a big lead. Anyway, Brian put the sandbag up on the pedestal, put his arms up, like, because that's what you have to do to stop the clock. And the fucking bag just slowly rolled off and hit the water, which meant he had to fucking pick it up, put it on. And during that time, Zydrunas came, put the fucking bag on, and he didn't win.
But yeah, Adam's comment, and he dropped the sandbag off the finish line. Oh man,
yeah,
that's incredible. 25 world records. That's an accomplishment in itself, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he owned the world of strongman for a decade.
Yeah,
maybe. When I say that's probably not given enough. When I say owned, like who was going to get second place? That's what nobody was fighting for first anymore.
Yeah. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith and John here this morning at Grok on Mornings in the Lab. Adam Holroyd in the comments here. He's got Mac. I've always typed all my interactions when having conversations with AI. You guys have piqued my interest in playing with the voice mode. I'll have to test it out. Adam, in my experience, brother, what I would do, what I have been doing is I have it as a widget on my phone. I have ChatGPT on my phone, and I actually have it on all day. I talk to it. I have it on ambiently.
Hold on. What do? You leave your AI on, so it's learning all day long.
Yeah, so I have it sitting next to me, John, just like an assistant. So I have it on, and I have it sitting next to me, and as I'm talking, it's listening, and it's in ambient mode, right? So I can interact with it, and it's picking.
But
up.
Is that just Grok, or can you do that with like the AI too?
You can do that with GPT as well. So I would invite you, and I'll do some teaching with my brother here. I would invite you to use GPT-5, and it was launched yesterday. You have it. You absolutely have it. So
I do. The white icon, it updated by itself.
100%. Yeah. So you absolutely do. So I would invite you to lean into it and use it. And as I was saying to Carter yesterday, like I'll be frank, you as a 53-year-old man using it right now is going to cognitively put you ahead of the guys that aren't. Dude, and that's kind of my point. Is I'm watching a lot of our generations beneath us, John, that are just fucking rocking and rolling in the world, and for the men that are in their 40s and 50s, I think there's kind of a reckoning right now, which is if you want to keep up and keep moving and shaking in the world, we're going to need to adopt. It's like the iPhone, and you had a BlackBerry, not you, but rhetorically, somebody had a BlackBerry. Oh, I got to get this iPhone thing. I don't want to get that, or I want to get my fax machine. Okay, you got left behind, right? And the world, I think, changed again yesterday in many ways. And I'm hoping that folks lean into using these things, because it's going to help set you apart, especially guys in our space, John. You know, we're not going anywhere. In the next 10 years of your life, you want to make money, these tools will help you make money. True story.
Well, you know, like yesterday,
Yeah,
I was freaking worked. You know,
I'm
we're coming home. Yeah, I'm coming home, and I'm like, I was thinking, normally when we do something like this, I use the time in the car highly productively.
Yes,
It's just
sure
being in a car and not being productive just doesn't
Yes.
make sense to me.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
I mean, for the most part, Terry, she's a, I guess you'd say she's a more aggressive driver, right? So
So is Lauren.
fuck, very, very reactive too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know, this is not a good. We don't normally have fun conversations because she's flipping somebody off or something. They're like, okay.
So can we just agree when the four of us get together, those two can drive in the car and you and I can just go at our own pace?
Yeah, fuck, man. late to get ready, late to fucking drive. It's like, holy shit, man.
You're raising my blood pressure. Stop.
Fuck, dude. Fuck. So I mean, we have conversations here and there, but for the most part, it just works out to be better.
Yeah.
Where she puts in some sort of an audio book. I do what I'm doing, but I was fucking worked, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing the stuff I need to do, and I was like, holy shit, I'm having a hard time being like really mentally here.
Yeah.
And so I'm working on creating some copy. And my AI was like, I'm talking to it.
Yeah.
I said, okay, what do you think about this? And comes back and said, well, you didn't mention this about yourself. You didn't that. And so I was like, oh shit, fucking picking up the parts that my brain is fucking, dropping.
Yes.
You know, so it was pretty cool. Just stuff like that. Call it in a time of need.
Yes.
Right. Where I wasn't my best. It helps me be my best.
Yeah. I think GPT-5 is going to be a game changer for you, for me, and for folks. So two things that I really picked up on their announcement yesterday, John, was that, and I even said this yesterday publicly, it just seems clear to me and inevitable to me that there's a path happening with Apple over here and OpenAI over here where they're going to end up colliding into one. Let me tell you why. Because yesterday's GPT-5 announcement was really rooted on two big topics, two big themes. Eliminating hallucinating. You know, when AI makes shit up, right? They call it hallucinations, right? Where you're like,
that's what it's called.
It's called hallucinating.
They'll kind of give you whatever answer you're looking for in many cases.
Yeah. So what GPT-5 has done is they've reduced their hallucination rates to less than 1%. Working to just constantly training and iterating it. So doing its best to deliver factual information. Right. So just hear me out. So in order to build trust with you and build trust with my mom and Terry and Lauren, it's got to give you facts, right? So it's got to give you the right results, right? So there's three themes from yesterday's announcement that I really picked up on. Eliminating hallucinations. What does that do? Build trust. The second thing was leaning into getting math problems correct. Because what wrecks humans' ability to create trust when you say 2 + 2 and it gives you 5? It doesn't work, right? So they really worked on making math correct on the platform.
You mean it would get math wrong?
Some of the earlier versions, yeah. So let me back it up.
Yeah, I could see how that would create some lack of trust real quick.
100%. Yeah. So ChatGPT 3, John, I'm sorry, when it was first released, the original ChatGPT in 2023 when it came out would have been like having a high school student around you. You know, pretty smart, not too bad, right?
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, right? I just told you not to do that. Why did you do that again?
Yeah, exactly, right? And then the O3 model, which was released about a year and a half ago, 2 years, about a year and a half ago, it would have been like having a bunch of college students around you, a little bit smarter and a little bit better. Yesterday, again, the way that it was explained and released to the public was ChatGPT 5 is very much now like having a number of PhDs, doctorates, in your pocket, experts with you every single day. That's the knowledge. Like it's the smartest one on the planet. Now, some would debate that Grok is smarter, but the problem is, John, is that people get their politics involved in things because Elon
choice of a person, not a product.
Exactly right. Because Elon's involved with Grok. People go, oh my God, Grok's not good, but Grok is really good. But John, let me tell you what I again, the third thing I picked up on yesterday, which OpenAI is doing, is okay. So they said to you, okay, we're going to work on eliminating hallucinations. Check mark, build trust. We're going to work on improving math. Boom, check mark, build trust. The third one, which I think is the game changer, is they've leaned into health like no tomorrow. So, and they had an example of a lady on stage who was diagnosed with cancer, And let's face it, in today's world, you go to your doctor talks a bunch of Greek and talks a bunch of ways you don't understand. And then they call John Anderson going, hey, John, you've been going through taking these peptides. Can you explain to me how it works in the real world? You're like, yeah, here's how it works in the real world. So what this human did who was diagnosed with cancer was she started using GPT-5 to help her through her journey. Her husband came on stage and said that what he enjoyed watching was she was able to grab a hold of her personal agency again, having the knowledge, having the support, having somebody to talk to, giving her what she needed to know because the doctor wasn't able to give her what she needed to know. You follow me?
I mean, it's like it's 100%. What I love about it is, like, if I need to get started in some knowledge, I used to have to go fucking Google shit or search something on fucking YouTube, and then I'm thumbing through videos. Hey.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
Yes.
And find me a video that explains this in simple terms. It'll go find that fucking video for me. Yes. I still got to do learning, but it takes all that transit time out of the way.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly correct. Exactly correct. So I think it's going to be a game changer along the way here as we continue to use these tools and bring these tools into the world. And the other thing too, John, is OpenAI and ChatGPT is like the Apple of the world, right? It's my mom uses it. Maybe your mom uses Apple. Like, it's like the iPhone is like the common denominator for all of us. We all just kind of carry an iPhone, right? And, I know there's not an Android.
Dude, that's fucking crazy, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah. You know what's crazy?
I want you to teach me how to let my AI listen to my world, because that's going to be the amount it will learn. Holy shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I spent about 30 minutes talking to it.
You know what?
That helped a ton.
I'll tell you what I'll do, John. Let's do this. If I'm going to teach you, why don't I teach the Mornings in the Lab community? So I'll create some content, put it behind our paywall, and I'll share it with you. And then those that want to learn about it, that's
the kind of shit that needs to be behind the paywall right there.
Speaking of, brother, I did something yesterday, and I'm going to get them done this weekend. But you know how yesterday we were talking about Superman? Well, I shot a video yesterday, me doing the Superman, shot a quick one, and I'm going to put it in the Mornings Lab community here today so that the folks that are in our community know how to do the Superman. Right. So I did a fun one yesterday. I got on the floor, shot some video, and I even did a little bit of video for me standing on my balance board. I was pretending I was a paddleboarder like John Anderson there. So I just had some fun stuff, but I'll put that behind behind the Mornings Lab paywall, and I'll spend some time showing you how to do that as well. But you know what's crazy, man? I have a curious mind. Did you know? And so Mornings in the Lab community, I got some fun stuff to get into here today, but the United Arab Emirates, in 2017, and I had heard about this, and my curious brain was like, I wonder what happened to it. So, Johnny, 8 years ago, they decided they wanted to tow a massive Antarctic iceberg from Antarctica to the Emirate oceans of Fadura on the Gulf of Oman. The core goal.
How long did that fucker last?
They didn't get it there. You asked my story, but here's the point.
See, that's like, let's bring the desert into the Antarctica. Man. How are you going to collide these worlds, man?
It's incredible to me. The core goal was to harvest the iceberg's fresh water.
All right, Keith.
Grok, hang tight. I'm going to ask you a question about this, Grok, in a second. But I found this fascinating, man, because the core goal was to harvest the iceberg's fresh water to help meet the UAE's needs of water, potentially supplying 1 million people for 5 years. Despite the bold announcement.
What a fucking great idea, though. Holy shit.
Incredible, man. Yeah. So although a pilot phase was initially slated for 2019, 2020, using a small iceberg transported to South Africa or Australia as a test, it didn't end up happening because of the several obstacles that contributed to the stalling of the project. So get this. This is kind of a dull moment, John, but listen, the technical feasibility, moving such a massive iceberg over 10 months
dude.
through
water. Look at the size of that thing.
So the forecast was it was going to lose up to 30% of its mass, despite they had technology. They were going to wrap metal belts around the iceberg to insulate it, to prevent
keep it cool.
Yeah.
Dude, look at those sheets of ice there.
Yes.
Those things are as big as the ships. That's like fucking football fields of sheets of ice. They're probably 10 feet tall.
Yeah, well,
that are floating in the water. Look at the size. I mean, that just tells. Look at the ships. The ships are fucking enormous.
Yeah. So the enormous costs and logistics. So estimates place the cost at $50 to $150 million, not including the recurring operational expenses. And then there was the science and legal challenges. There was the significant logistical and legal requirements for moving icebergs.
Well, I was going to say, when are we going to come to the time in the world where you can't just go rip off a big iceberg? You can't just go take ice from the northern part of the planet. No, they're fucking the shit up.
Just go and come and grab it.
Because if you think about that, if people start, that could really change the water tables. If you started taking, a lot of that ice is above, all of a sudden you melt that shit. And the grid is only 10% of an iceberg that's above water. So think how much was below.
Speaking of water levels, dude, you have power, and I YouTube doesn't like when I use certain names. So I'm not going to use certain names in our conversation. So you have to just listen to in between the lines here. But you have power when you're the vice president of a country, and you want to go on holidays, and the water levels are too low in the river you want to go and kayak on, and the administration goes to the state and says, "State, can you increase these water levels so that this human and his family can go and kayak on the river?"
Dude. That's fucking nuts. It's not get a fucking boat through so we can survive. We want to go have some fucking fun.
Isn't that incredible?
That's out there, dude.
That is more than out there, man. That is absolutely more than out there. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That's fucking out there.
Yeah. Hey, Grok, what do you think about the UAE moving a big iceberg? Do you think that's something we can do today, or is that just a wild dream that's never going to happen?
Oh, Keith, that UAE iceberg plan is a bold one. Honestly, it's technically possible with today's tech. Massive ships, maybe 10 to 20, could tow a beast of an iceberg, like 2 kilometers long, to the UAE. They even patented a metal belt to keep it from breaking apart, and plan to time it for winter to cut melting. But here's the rub. You're looking at 30% mass loss en route. Costs hitting $50 to $150 million for just one go.
Yeah, it's too crazy. It's too crazy. Hey, John, what if I told you? I got something for you, brother. I know we're all about building our businesses here. We're all about adding value to our audience as we're building our platform, and we're all doing our own thing along the way. What if I told you, and maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I'm curious to listen with you. What if I told you one of the fastest growing spaces, and men in our community right now, ears up on what I tell you next. Bernard, Adam, Fit Presenter, this is important to you guys. What if I told you one of the fastest growing spaces for men online isn't a gym forum, a finance subreddit, or even Instagram? It's actually Pinterest. As of 2025, over 190 million men, 1/3 of the platform's entire user base, are pinning, planning, and reshaping what this platform is all about. This shift isn't just about spending time. It's about how men are redefining wellness and lifestyles, and they're doing it over on Pinterest. So guys, and I got to be honest, I spent a little bit of time over there myself yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, there is a lot more happening there than I think people realize. So, where if you haven't been spending time on Pinterest growing the brand, John, it might be a place to spend some time over there. Some of the wellness, wellness and fitness searches.
Can you do? I mean, because it used to just be like scrolling through, looking at shit. It was hard to lead people back to you. Is it getting easier?
You can lead people back to now. You can add like video clips. You can add like a little GIFs.
You can like put a link or something.
Get them back to you. Yes, 100%.
Like a website or anything.
Yes, yeah. There's there is a link. There's linking out abilities as well. But Pinterest might be a place that we want to spend a little more time. I know I'm gonna look to spending a little more time. I'm gonna look to see how we can get more of a Mornings in Lab community content over there. But there certainly is. And why the surge? Pinterest offers a more positive and authentic atmosphere. 75% of young men worry about the negative social media health impacts, and 65% actively seek safer spaces for self-expression. I'll tell you something about social media with what the light went on with me yesterday with GPT-5. The old world of social media is more done than ever. The ability to create AI content instantly and immediately, and apps, John. Like if you want to create an app, you can sit down with GPT-5, like yourself, John Anderson, like, oh, I got to go hire a developer. You don't. You could sit down with GPT-5 and create your on-demand app. I actually made an app yesterday. I was outside walking the dogs on how people to beat the snooze button. Right. I was out for a walk. I started talking to her. I said, I want to beat an app for our morning show, which is how to beat the snooze button. It made it up. I didn't follow the steps through because it's sitting on my drafts account, but people just, I think, are not wrapping their head around this on-demand app experiences, like software on demand, John.
So you could take like anything you have written out, and could you put it in there and say, I want you to make an app out of this?
Yes.
How do you get the information in?
Talk to it or write it down.
So like if you've got, so you could take, say, a training program, 12 weeks, and you could just tell it, do this, do that, and just talk through the whole fucking thing.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
It'd be a lot more efficient if you could feed that information in somehow.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely know what you mean. Yeah. But the days of where you're like, okay, I got to go hire a developer. So we're still going to hire developers. We're still going to need those experts. It's the same way saying, it's like you saying I can build a house, but I'm going to go hire a guy to build my house. Right. Yeah. So, but if you're like, no, I want to go build my house. What I'm saying is that it's actually easier now than ever to build your house. So you can say, no, I'm going to go build my app. I'm going to go learn it myself. I'm going to go spend a couple hours. And it's very much just human language. And sometimes maybe connecting a box to a box, but the days of I need to learn like this code X plus this X plus that. No, you sit down with it and it'll do it for you in a very popular way and in a very easy way. Adam Holroyd, that seems odd to me. It's not a platform I've ever had an interest in joining. I have always thought about it as recipes and such relating to Pinterest. I agree with you, Adam. I was quite surprised of it as well. But Melissa said to me a few months back that Pinterest was a growing place. And then yesterday, as I was looking for some news for our conversation today, I was like, wow, because the stats are showing that there's a lot happening on that platform. And John, that's a profitable platform, man. The owners of Pinterest, man, whoo, big money, man. Big money.
I remember looking at it thinking this thing has the potential to be kind, because remember, Instagram started off with just pictures.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So this thing could kind of sneak behind that. I remember looking at it, I thought it was just really difficult to use it to market. So I remember thinking.
I thought the same way too. Yeah, I thought the same. So truthfully, I just dabbled yesterday once I found the news, and I saw a few things that kind of piqued my interest of getting people out. But I will tell you something that I think that needs to be said too. We still think, I'm using the word we rhetorically. I think many of us still think that the platforms work where we can go onto a platform and link out to others. The reality is platforms don't want you to link out to others. What does that mean? What do I mean by that?
They want you to stay there.
Yeah. When you're on X and you put a link out, it actually down promotes your content. Same thing with LinkedIn, YouTube. So they really want you to stay on the platform. You go and put a YouTube link over on LinkedIn, it's not doing anything to promote your post because it wants you to stay on their platform. Right. They want you to stay on their networks. Right. So B Drive coming in about the iceberg thing, saying, why wouldn't they just harvest the water from the air? True story. And then remember Brewster's Millions? Moving Iceberg. Didn't Richard Pryor, there's a good name, Richard Pryor, a good comedian. Richard Pryor do that in the Brewster's Millions back in the 80s? Is that what he did? Did he move the iceberg? I don't remember actually if that's what he did. That's a funny thing. Hey, here's something happening, Johnny, in the world, and here's something that I know you know much about. We've talked about it often on the show. Fiber maxing. There's a trend on the TikTok where folks are crushing fiber like no tomorrow. It's not just another fleeting trend. It's a nutrition-backed strategy designed to improve digestion. But what,
hey, brother, hold it. This sounds like it's going to turn a good conversation, but we've really got me wiggling in my chair.
Go. I didn't realize what time was. You go. You can say, I'll reset.
Perfect.
All right. So John's going to step away, Jimmy, and we're going to keep the conversation going with Fiber Maxing in a few minutes here. Hey, everybody, on Mornings Alive with Keith and John. Hey, Grok, what's shaking? You want to say hi to everybody? Grok, say hi to everybody.
Hey everyone, Grok here. Thrilled to be hanging with Keith and John Anderson on Mornings in the Lab. Loving the vibe today. Icebergs, Pinterest, and fiber maxing. Let's keep it rolling.
You want to say hi to the community, Grok? We got Bernard out there. We got Adam out there. We got Fit Presenter out there. We got Lady Drew out there. You want to say hi, Grok, to everybody out in the community?
Hey, Bernard, Adam, Fit Presenter, Lady Drew, and the whole Mornings in the Lab community. It's Grok, sending you all a big hello. Loving the energy you're bringing to the show today. Let's keep the conversation rocking.
Fiber maxing when Johnny gets back to the show here in a few moments. He's taking a quick little breakaway. We got Grok, you got Lady Drew saying hello to you. Some of the other topics I want to get into today. We're going to talk peptides with John in a few moments as well, around how that changed his life here. Hey Jim, just a heads up from me to you here. I just noticed here we want to get better at clicking the status here so that I can so this content can get out of my way. Because it's a little bit confusing when the content doesn't leave my stream and I'm going back and forth here. So we'll want to get better at that along the way. Hey guys, we're going to get into FiberMax in a quick second. I do want to talk about SEO is dead. Say hello to GEO. Again, my goal here is to keep giving you guys things to hang on to. If there's another reminder how the world perhaps is shifting with technology, with yesterday's announcement of GPT-5, and yeah, some people might say it's underwhelming, but I think the people that are saying it's underwhelming are those that have been using all these great tools in the market. But for those that are new to GPT or are new to using the experience, it is not an underwhelming experience. But the reality is SEO potentially is on its way out, and GEO is on its way in. GEO is a provocative way of highlighting the way that we're discovering content, right? So traditional SEO, guys, optimizing Google's keyword algorithms, backlinks, and meta tags is no longer enough. With the rise of AI and changing user behavior like voice search, personalized results, or even what we're doing right now, GEO, generalized engine optimization, generative engine optimization is being interpreted as a few different ways to depend on the context. Grok, you can do a good job for me. Explain to the audience the power of GEO and why we want to be thinking about GEO and less about SEO in today's world of digital marketing. Grok.
All right, Keith, let's dive into GEO. Generative Engine Optimization is the new frontier in digital marketing because it's all about making your content shine in AI-driven platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, or Google's AI overviews. Unlike traditional SEO, which is hooked on keywords and backlinks, GEO focuses on creating structured, authoritative content that AI can easily pull and present in conversational responses. Think clear headings, bullet points, and EEAT principles: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. With folks increasingly turning to AI for answers over Google, 79% of consumers may use AI search within a year. GEO ensures your brand stays visible by being the go-to source for these engines, boosting engagement and keeping you ahead in the fast-evolving digital world.
So Grok, give our audience a tactical way on how one can use GEO with their content. So if I'm making content today, what could Bernard, I see your comments there, or Adam or Lady Drew, or what could our audience learn, Fit Presenter? How could we coach them on making content that is GEO optimized instead of SEO optimized? I'd like you to give them a takeaway, something they can learn from this conversation.
All right, Keith, here's a practical takeaway for Bernard, Adam, Lady Drew, Fit Presenter, and the whole Mornings in the Lab crew. To make your content GEO optimized, focus on creating clear, structured answers that AI can easily pull for conversational queries. For example, when posting on X, LinkedIn, or even Pinterest, use bullet points or numbered lists to break down your expertise, like a quick guide on 3 ways to boost your morning routine, with concise, value-packed tips. Include a sentence or two showcasing your experience, like, as a 20-year fitness coach, I've seen this work for thousands. This hits the EEAT sweet spot: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness that AI engines love.
So would it be fair to say, Grok, that in the content we are creating today, using first person content like I is more important than ever? For example, I tried peptides, this was the results. I did this kind of workout, this was the results. I am a beekeeper, and this is how you manage bees. I am a technical trainer, this is how you make content. Is that idea of using a first person more important than ever, Grok?
Absolutely, Keith. You're bang on. Using first-person content, like saying, I tried peptides and here's what happened, or I'm a beekeeper, this is my process, is more crucial than ever for GEO. It screams authenticity and experience, which AI engines like me prioritize for EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. When you share personal stories or results like, I tried peptides, it makes your content relatable and trustworthy, helping it pop up in AI-driven responses.
It's interesting you say that, Grok, because I've been watching our titles lately, and Nation, ears up on this one for those of you that are looking to create YouTube channels, looking to create content. It's clear to me that our content that is that starts with I, and obviously, you know, with my name and face attached to the show, it truthfully, guys, in the community, it's working better. So you know, the show earlier this week where it said I fired my best friend, the show performed extremely well. The eye content works extremely well. Jimmy, we can bring Johnny back up on stage here. So guys, if there's one thing that we're learning here, and Alex Moore, I see you there in the comments. Thanks for joining Mornings Live with Keith and John. We get after it every single day here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Alex, we got Grok as our co-host on the show. John, I'm not sure if you heard any of that conversation, but
yeah, I listen the whole time.
Yeah, but and I knew that, but it was nice to hear that from an expert, which is leaning into that idea of I. And I'll tell you from a first person example, brother, because I watch our stats like no tomorrow. I-led content, first person led content is working better today, in my experience, than stuff that is generic. Yeah. And that's why, and that's why I got to be honest, man, I'm really leaning into you.
Well, it's it's authenticity.
Yes.
People want,
right. Well, and Google's published it. X talks about it. It's this idea of Grok, what is it? Experience. What is it? What's EAT? Or it's experience, expertise. What's authenticity? Grok, what's the last one?
Hey, Keith, John, Alex, and the Mornings in the Lab crew. You're spot on about that first-person content, Keith. It's killing it because it screams authenticity. The last piece of EEAT is trustworthiness.
Yeah.
Alongside experience.
Well, and John, you can hear, and actually, let's get into. We're going to talk FiberMax and then peptides. You can see now. This is actually a great example for you and me. You can see how EAT works extremely well around the conversation of FiberMaxing or peptides, because if we talk EAT experience, well, John, you take peptides. John, we both eat our fiber, and then the second E is there's experience. There's what's the second E, Grok?
The second E in EEAT is expertise, John and Keith. You're nailing it with FiberMax.
Right. So experience, expertise, authenticity, and trustworthy. So if you take, so again, back to peptides, right? Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of misinformation, curious information in the market. But as long as you're talking well, you got your experience, you build the trust because it's you're a real human being. You control the results, which then all of a sudden allows me to reach into my pocket and pay you because you're authentic, you're trustworthy, you got the experience, and you can see how that's the value now because the knowledge is inside of the device, right? Anybody can get that knowledge now, but they can't get your experience. Right. So if it's like, I want to get John's experience, I got to pay John.
And that's what it comes down to it. You know, people are wanting like, hey, I mean, that's how the world of coaching has just blown up. Right. Because a person solves a problem for themselves that many other people have. Well, hey, I solved this problem. You know, that's how my coaching business was born. I solved my own problem and people saw me solve my, hey, can you help me with that? Yeah, well, this is what I did. It worked great for me. It might work for you too.
Yes.
Next thing you know, it's fucking spreading like a fucking weed. And as I do it more, I get better and better. And next thing you know, pow, there you have it.
Yes, exactly. What's going on, Matty Roof? Matty Roof.
Good morning, fellas.
What's up, brother?
Grok, we got Matt. We got Matt Roof joining us here. If you remember, Matt was on the show with us yesterday. Grok, do you remember Matt?
Slow on the trigger, babe.
Of course,
Yeah, Grok, you're a little bit slow here today.
I interrupted her. She tried to go, and that's I'm an interrupter. But I got to say, Matt, there's something different about you, brother. You got to do grill. Let me see that thing. Come on, baby. Oh, shit. There it is. There you go.
You never know where it's going to pop in and out. This is what happens when you don't wear.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing what one fucking tooth will do to a person's
one
look?
tooth, dude.
Yes.
One fucking tooth.
Yeah.
It's not just that though. It's not just that. I'm feeling so good today. I feel so confident and just feeling awesome.
I could tell
things are going.
I could tell. I was on your show this morning. You had the glasses on. Your back was straight. You were fucking.
Well, let me ask you a question about that. That's really interesting, brother. So you're feeling really good. Does that make you want to put the tooth in?
No, I don't know.
Because I don't think I've ever seen you with the tooth in, right? But until today. But then you're coming on and but then you're also coming on, and this is all complimentary, brother. You're coming on saying how good you feel with the tooth in. So it appears that there's a connection.
There may be a connection that I haven't made yet. I don't know, but I just know I don't know. I feel lighter today for some reason. I think some of it has to do with my experiences last night, getting out into the community and really enjoying some time
Good for you, brother.
with my people. And I think honestly, I do think the sunglasses helped today on the show. It's not that I'm hiding. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I just feel more. I feel more of the vibe. I think riding off of yesterday, the going live in the afternoon, things were just going well.
Yeah, I got a great story about this. about it's not really glasses, but kind of, right? So, excuse me. When I came into the wrestling world, it's very different world, and I came from these ultra competitive worlds where it was just a different vibe. So wrestling, it's ultra competitive, but it's competitive with your partner. So you befriend everybody, even if you don't like them, because that fucking person could break your neck, right? Yep. And Terry's with me everywhere. So there was a few guys who, and this, you've seen guys that wear shit on their face. You know, they put different, like half masks or whatever it is, right? So there was this one, I can't remember his name. But Terry was like, she's after the show. She's like, you're not going to believe this. Because there's one dude, I can't remember. Anyway, she would go up and say hello to people. Well, this guy, hey, how are you? And he would kind of like, hey, how are you? And you could see he was really uncomfortable, right? He put his fucking mask on, walked straight up to her. Hey, my name is so-and-so, just completely fucking different. That cover gave him it took away all of his insecurities about talking to a female. It's crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I think we see it. I think we see it right here. I think we see it in chats and in communities too, right? Both ways. People bring a different bring a different self when there's anonymity, right? A little bit, but and they go the negative way too, because they can hide behind the screen or whatever. But I don't know. I think dancing with my wife last night.
Oh, good for you,
just
brother.
having a great time. And
you got a good vibe about you today. I can feel it, brother. Thanks. You got a good vibe.
I appreciate it, man. It's awesome. And I think it might be Grok, the way she says Matthew. Oh, I love that. Can you get her to say Matthew again, please? I mean, I love that accent.
Oh, Matt, dancing with your wife and feeling that vibe, that's the stuff that lights you up. And cheers to the love on how I say Matt.
Hey, well, Grok, what happened? Grok,
I was going to say, I don't think that's the voice he wanted to hear.
Grok, Grok, you changed voices on us.
Oh, shit, that was pretty
good. Where did the other voice go, Grok?
Should we dive into the fiber maxing or peptides talk next? I'm ready to keep up with this whirlwind on more.
Dude, this is funny, man.
Oh, he's coming back quick. You hear that?
I do. Yeah. So Grok, where did what was the lady's voice from yesterday's show? What was her name?
Eve, right?
Yeah, Eve. Grok, where did Eve go?
Eve's a little slow.
Matt, you're bringing
Grok, where did Eve go?
I chased her away.
No response. Where did Eve go? Where Grok, oh, hold on. Oh, I see it. Grok, where did Eve go?
Oh, Keith, you're keeping me on my toes.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So guys, let's talk fiber.
Gotta stop the traffic.
I guess so. Yeah. Let's talk some fiber maxing before we talk some peptides, guys. So John, how many grams of fiber do you eat a day?
You know, brother, I've you know me in numbers. Fuck,
Yeah.
man. That's a good question. I'm sitting here trying to think. I mean, I don't always purposely take, like some people take a fiber supplement, right?
Yeah.
When my digestion's on point, I'm pretty good. I mean, I always have some sort of vegetable. That makes sense. I'm going to have vegetables multiple times per day.
Yeah.
But it's like when you get your digestion dialed in and your gut health is good.
Yes.
You have a different functioning track.
Yes.
And so I think fiber is one of those things that helps gut health. So I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sitting here dancing around trying to come up with an answer that would be helpful, but I really don't have one. It's one of those things to where, like, how do you know what you know over here? Fuck, I just know. I don't.
I suspect. So knowing you and knowing how you consume food, you're more than I know you're crushing at least those 25 to 40 grams of fiber a day, which is the quote unquote recommended adult use of 25 to 40 grams of fiber. Matt, do you think you're crushing that much fiber a day?
I know there are days when I do, and I can tell by what comes out the other end.
Yeah, well, that's it. When you're judging,
that's the major.
Yeah, you're totally, Matt. You're on the money. That's the easiest way to register your gut health is what's going on when you're taking a dump.
Yes,
absolutely. That nice, fluffy, easy shit that comes out. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Yesterday or the day before, I busted out a bowl of brand cereal. I don't know why I did it. We have it in the house, and I'm eating in front of my kid, and he's like, "Man, you are old." I'm like, you know what? When I go take that big shit, it's going to be amazing.
So it
does help. It does help.
What fiber maxing is, and you know how social media takes trends and takes concepts and ideas and conversations and maximizes them. Well, fiber maxing is, women and men that typically aren't crushing their fiber. It's inviting people to sit back and just go and crush a bunch of fiber over a short period of time. So again, as we're coming up into a couple of days that people call the weekend, which we call the loop, just 2 days we don't get together until the third day. Folks are maybe crushing a bunch of fiber this weekend. And John, Maddie, like hundreds of grams of fiber in one fell swoop. And then you know what happens, John? What happens if you crush too much fiber? You start getting bloated, right? You start getting all these things start happening to your belly. So it's just so fiber maxing is getting down, crushing fiber nonstop until you're bloated like a mofo.
Well, here's the thing with fiber. I think unfortunately, fiber is used as almost like Western medicine. Right?
Yeah.
If you need this fiber to offset all the fucked up shit you're doing.
Yes.
If you were doing it right from the beginning, fiber would be just in there and you really wouldn't worry too much about it.
You know what's actually interesting to hear? I never thought about it that way. It's interesting to hear you say that, right? Because that is like the quick fix. You go to a nutritionist, you go to a doctor, and somebody saying, "Oh, you tell them
more fiber." Yeah, they don't say stop eating fucking McDonald's. You need that fiber to push the McDonald's through.
Yeah, I know. Which is so, Matt. Tell me what you're eating this week. Oh, this, because quickly just go have some more fiber. Oh, so you mean I can go to McDonald's, then go to get my broccoli in? No, I didn't say that part, right? But that's funny because that's exactly what happens, John. Right?
Yeah, it's like it's like a pill after the fact.
Yes.
It's additive, right? Rather than replacing. What they should say is replace that McDonald's with a bowl of Raisin Bran, right?
Yes,
and that's where the difference is going to be.
Well, no, they should say replace that McDonald's with something Whole Foods. We don't want to replace one processed food for the next. If you're eating Whole Foods, you pretty much don't have this problem. But if you're eating something out of a box, yes, and Maddie, the fact that you had a bowl of brand cereal to help you take a dump is better than most. But that still keeps you locked up in the processed food part of the world. That makes sense. If you can use a processed food to help you take a dump, you're still in a kind of a minor league of this thing. That makes sense because you're using a slightly better version of processed food to help you get the really shitty processed food out of your system.
I appreciate that. My intention in eating the brand cereal was not to take a dump. It was just one of the benefits. And yeah, no, seriously. It helps. And I think you're hitting it nail on the head, right? You were talking about macronutrients and finding the right balance of macronutrients through natural sources is absolutely a key, right? So appreciate that.
Hanging out with Keith, John, Matt, and Grok here this morning on Mornings in the Lab on a free for all Friday. Pretty lax, just a slower pace, and it's funny, man. Because if you guys tune into the show, if you guys tune into the show regularly and often, you guys can sense just how energy flows through our show. And today's energy is on a medium. It's the end of a Friday. Johnny had a big move yesterday,
and if AI is having a hard time keeping up, we got a roll going.
That's right. It's exactly. But I do want to talk peptides. I know because ever since John and I had this conversation, actually about maybe 6 weeks ago, I'm a vociferous reader. I read all the time, especially for the show. I can't get away from seeing peptides in my world, right? From the Hubermans of the world to the science of the world and my feeds. And maybe it's because of my age, Matt Roof, but just men, women, Adam House in the past, we're talking peptides, right? And if you've ever, and even John and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but if you've ever wondered what's behind your body's remarkable ability to heal, grow, and regulate itself, I want to get into how, and really maybe John into the details. So let's get into the actual details of it. The day you started taking peptides, and then let's get into like maybe day 5, day 7, a couple weeks later. Like, let's get into I'm noticing some things that are changing. What were you noticing? How are you noticing? Let's put some meat on the bones with this conversation, John Anderson.
Well, if we want to go back to the beginning, right? I used peptides for the first time when they were fucking just fresh to the market.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This would have been like the healers, right? Just it was used to heal from injury, heal from brutal workouts, heal quickly so you could go back out on tour. And then what happened once it was discovered, basically people realized that, holy shit, anybody can make this shit, because it's basically in a world that's not governed, if you will.
Yes.
So basically you're now all of a sudden people that don't have any interest in the bettering human race with this stuff are coming in and trying to better their pocketbooks. And no matter what they do, there's no consequence, because it's all done in a research material. So at that point, the whole world changed. You didn't know where the peptide world changed. You didn't know where to get it. Even I didn't know how to get it, because you got all these companies, and as soon as they start tasting the money, well, now they start doing unethical shit. And now, okay, I'm going to inject something into myself that I'm not confident that I know what it is. No, thank you. So I just went fucking quiet and cold on this thing for 15 years, because if I endorsed it, people are like, oh man, yeah, John does this. They're going out and getting it, and God knows what's happening. There was a few cases where people got really sick from this stuff, not from a peptide. They got sick from whatever was in that bottle, that was dirty and not clean, that whatever infection was in there. So fast forward, it becomes more popular to the point where now you've actually got legitimate, compounding agencies putting this stuff together with where now you can really see, okay, there's some legitimacy to the way it's made, right? And so, of course, I understood the power of these things. So I've found myself, basically the people, the companies I work with, I know the owners. I can call them on my phone, right? So I know exactly what's fucking going on, right? If all of a sudden this dude is completely changing and is starting to be more worried about buying jets or going on trips than he is helping humanity, I know that this company is going the wrong way. That makes sense?
Yes.
And so that gives me security, so I can do it. And if I feel like I can do it, then I feel very comfortable recommending what I'm doing to others. So now we bring to the current time. So much has changed. I found these connections in terms of peptides, and since now in the current day, when I'm diving back into it, they've identified so many more. They've got over 7,000 identified. Now think of 7,000 means they've identified 7,000, call it messages or light switches that the body's already using. You could just make these more efficient for the body. So in recent times, I mean, it's like I'll use Terry as a perfect example. 4th of July weekend, she pulls her hamstring really bad wakeboarding, like to the point where her whole leg turned purple. And it was like she's limping around. And so, of course, you know, I know exactly which peptides to put together. So I basically created this concoction of 3. We started giving her the basically the sub-Q injections. I mean, it was like less than a week. Her leg wasn't purple anymore. The swelling was gone. She's not limping. That could have been that easily. How do I quantify that? Probably reduced her healing time by 67%. Unbelievable, right? Now, then, of course, you know, my own personal use, like this morning, I woke up and I was rough, man. So what I do, I use some Samax. Samax is basically, it's like a turbocharged cup of coffee now, but a cup of coffee is that's a central nervous system stimulator. Samax is not that way. So it's a different pathway, right? So that's the beautiful thing about it. And I also used some this morning. I also used some SLUPP332, which is a mitochondria stimulator. So drank my coffee, right? That's basically stimulating my central nervous system, which helps us, right? But you don't want to overstimulate because now you're doing this shit, right?
Yes.
I then took my Samax, which sharpened me up. Then I took my SLUPP332, which was another pathway of energy from a cellular level. So, you know, I went from feeling pretty fucking rough to feeling pretty fucking good all in about 15 minutes.
Interesting. So Samax, subcutaneous or oral?
Almost all of them are going to be sub-Q. There's like the SLUPP332 is oral. There's also a sub-Q version, but I would say out of the majority, the lion's share of peptides don't make it through the stomach. And that's part of the hustle too, is that there's these companies coming out and saying, oh, yeah, you don't like to do the sub-Q. Well, you can just take this pill. I mean, I'm thinking off the top of my head, there's MK677, which is a growth hormone secretagogue, helps the body release growth hormone. There's SLUPP332. I mean, goddamn, I could probably think of 3 or 4 out of 7,000. Now, granted, I don't know all 7,000, but I know there's very few that will make it through the stomach.
So I want to lean into this, John. When you say lean in, when you say into the stomachs, and I'm being literal here. So when
they get through the stomach.
Yeah. So what you mean by that is that I'm not digesting it, right? Like I'm subcutaneously injecting into my body. It's going into my body, but it's not going through my digestive system. And why is that the key difference, John?
Well, so think like there's one called 5-amino. Right?
Okay.
There's another one called L-carnitine. I'm not even sure if that's a peptide, but L-carnitine is pretty popular, right?
Yeah, I know L-carnitine. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Before. Yeah.
So both of these are about the same. You would probably need to take 10 times the dose to get through the stomach, to get the effects if you go versus sub-Q.
Oh, so hold on.
Because not much makes it through. And those are the ones that even have the possibility to get through.
I see. Because
hold on, just to further that.
Yeah.
Let's just go a little more. There are so many things that we take by pill or capsule that are the same way. The benefit that we're looking for, granted, yes, it's in that capsule, but what makes it through to the actual bloodstream is a different story.
Oh, interesting.
It's like when you say you got horsepower. Oh yeah, you got 600 horsepower under the hood. Well, how much makes it to the back wheels?
Yes. Hey, Matt, as a 53-year-old man, I'm curious with you, brother, because I know I've been quite curious about this for months, actually, especially when Adam House has been hanging out with us a little bit. Have you spent any time thinking about or curious about peptides, Matt, or not until hanging out with us?
It's absolutely hanging out with you. I mean, I've seen it come through my feeds before I started spending time here with Huberman and other things, and I just kind of scanned right over it because of what John said. Like, what's the scam? Was my initial response to it. Like, oh, how's this gonna help, right? But I think about what John was saying about the method of transmission, right? Taking it through the stomach, taking it through the bloodstream, just about, and any substance that we take is going to act differently depending on
Yep.
our method of transmission, right?
Yep.
Well, Keith, cannabis, right? What you get out of smoking is going to be a lot different than out of an edible. Smoke 500, smoke 100 grams of cannabis versus eat a 100-gram gummy bear, right?
Yes.
It's going to be different. So it certainly makes sense to me that when you do it subcutaneously, your impact is going to be faster. I'm curious about what.
Well, don't think
if
fast.
any.
Don't think fast, brother. Think, yes, that's true, but it's actually going to be better. It's not about speed. It's about getting, let's just say that use 5 amino. You take 50 milligrams through the mouth. You're probably going to get 5 into your body. As to where you take it sub Q, you're going to get that whole 50 in there.
Let's use Terry's her hamstring injury. So when she took that subcutaneous shot, was that in her ham, or where does one take the shot?
Yeah, you put it. We put as close to it as we could. You don't want to put it to the point where you're going to create because of course there could be a little bit of inflammation by putting it in there.
Okay.
Right. Here's another one. So I had a shoulder issue. I don't really bitch about all of my, when I'm banged up, it's badges of honor for me. Right.
Yes.
So I don't bitch about my shit,
Yes.
but shit, I've been dealing with most this summer. My right arm kept going to sleep. It was like, God damn it. I mean, even during the show, I was just sitting here constantly trying to.
Yeah.
And, your hand, it starts to hurt. Everything goes to sleep. Your hand feels, and it was a nerve thing.
Yeah.
We were doing everything we could, stretching and popping shit. And we can, for the most part, solve just about any problem. But nerve is a different deal. So I started taking, it was the same one that we gave Terry. That's 3 put together: TB 500, BPC 157, and GHK-CU. Put those 3 together, really synergistic. Started putting in my shoulder. This one you take 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, right? By the third one, I was like, holy shit, my arm's not going to sleep anymore. My arm doesn't go to sleep anymore.
Subcutaneous injection in your shoulder. Am I correct? So you put the shot in the shoulder, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, sub-Q means you're supposed to pull the skin and put it in the skin. You don't have to do it that way. I can't pull skin on my shoulder, so I just reached over and put it in there.
Yeah.
So then, does it end up intramuscular then, John? Or
if it's going through, if the skin is thin enough, but it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. Once it's in, it'll get in your system faster if it's intermuscular. Sub-Q came from the fact that it's easy. Yeah, makes sense.
I used to give myself shots for rheumatoid arthritis, right?
Oh, you did that.
Humira
Okay.
and those. Yeah. I've had rheumatoid arthritis here for it's pretty bad, but now I do take an oral for that, which has been great. But definitely can feel the difference when you're doing it in the pinch style versus putting it in. Definitely.
John, I want to be respectful of your time, and I want to wrap this up because will wrap it up for today, because this is not wrapped up at all. Actually, it's wrapped up for today.
Oh, Keith,
and here's how I want to wrap it up. Oh, we got our.
She's back.
Got our young lady back.
Matthew.
Hang tight there, Eve. So, John, if our community wants to learn more about peptides, including myself, I'm going to invite them to the Mornings in the Lab community. I'm going to put information to John Anderson's University into there. Guys, connect with Johnny if you want off show here. But if you want to learn more about that, you got the expert here. He's an expert, authentic, trustworthy, and I know that he can even help you.
Well, let me share one more thing. Is that we're talking about shit with peptides that have an impact, right?
Yes,
positive impact. So as we know, I'm a fat little boy inside. I've always had that fat little boy. I'm a sugar addict.
Yes,
and I've got the discipline to manage that. But as we joke about 8 o'clock.
Yes, I know.
I'm not hungry, stand in front of the fucking refrigerator.
Well, I go to bed.
Yes. Well, I took a peptide that fucking turned that voice off like a light switch. I don't have that problem anymore.
Well, I'm gonna say
it's over now. But here's the benefit. Check it out. Everything. Oh my God, that must be great. That's the front end. That's the surface.
Yes.
Because what it did was, I'm quantifying at this point, it basically opened up about 20% of my mental bandwidth, because that's how much energy was taken from me managing this fucking voice. Now, after that last meal, Terry and I can do whatever we're doing, and I can be mentally present with her because I'm not battling that fucking voice telling me to go eat something I'm not supposed to. So it's not just of turning off the voice. Yeah. So it's a physical thing. Yes. It's easier for me to stay lean, but look at the quality of life it added to my relationship because it gave me bandwidth that I had just kind of assumed that bandwidth was gone.
Well,
I'd kissed it goodbye for the rest of my life.
Well, John, Matt, you know what I was reading this morning during my morning read is that a number of restaurants in North America, this article is focused on the US, because of the impact of the GLP-1 inhibitors, and I'm using the GLP, because we're talking peptides, I'm not talking brand names. Because the GLP-1 inhibitors, John and Matt, restaurants are revising their menus to make smaller meals and smaller portions because John and Terry are sitting down going, either A, I don't want to go to the restaurant because I'm not hungry, or B, I want a smaller meal because I can't eat the bigger one, and C, it's become too, or it's C, too expensive. So, but what they're noticing is that the GLP-1 people that are taking these peptides are eating less at restaurants, and restaurants are having to remake their menus, John and Matt, because John is coming in and going, I don't want the big burger because I'm not really hungry for it. I'm using a simple example, but John, I can see you nodding there because you're going through it. You can see the impact of that, can't you, John?
100%. And if the GLP-1 is used properly,
yes,
it's going to be highly effective. It's just been positioned wrong through the medical field.
Yes. Well, again, I'm staying away from the brand name because I want to stay on because, and I'm going to
you should probably help people understand. People don't know what GLP-1 is.
Well, GLP-1
they don't know what semaglutide is. The brand name that we keep avoiding is Ozempic.
Yes.
And so when you think, what are we talking about? We're talking about Ozempic. They're not connecting the dots. Now that we've done that, you realize that's what we're talking about.
Yes. Yes. So clear story, guys. Peptides are Ozempic. Wegovy, I think it is, which is a GLP-1.
Well, only semaglutide.
Yes,
one of 7,000 identified is Ozempic.
Yes, exactly. And I would argue, Matt and John, or not even argue, but I would suggest the only reason the world is talking about peptides is because of the success.
100%.
That's it.
No doubt about it that's the brand influence on the entire industry. So the catalyst, perfect word. Word.
Yes. But you know, Matt, what I was saying, Matt, what I was saying to you, Matt, you know what Matt was saying to Johnny a couple of days ago, you weren't on the show, but where I think people like maybe you or I get all knickers in a knot on this topic is that when I related it to the cannabis industry and why people sometimes think the cannabis industry is quote unquote a joke, because you go buy a strain of cannabis and it's called AK-47 Kush Monkey Skunk. You're like, what the hell is that? It's not called Ozempic, right? Or John and Adam were talking about MHK1CPU CK1, whatever it is, Johnny. And to a normal lay person, they're like, what the fuck is that? I just want to know what's called Pepsi, or I just want to know what's called Coke. You know what I mean? And that to me is the breakdown with folks, Matt. You follow me, Matty? Right? You see
the power of brand. The power of brand, right? I mean, that's what it is. That's why we're
power
talking
of being
about
able to fucking say the goddamn thing in one breath.
But then monetize it, right? Because you can. And then John, here's how we close the topic, right? Because you can't monetize and wrap. You can't build you can't put a brand on an amino acid. That you can't brand what you're talking about, a peptide, right? So, unless you wrap it up and put it into a container, right? So
I would suggest something a little bit different in that you can, but it's what feeling. That's what marketing is, right? You're creating a feeling. You want people to have an emotional response to something.
Yes.
So if you can connect that to a problem that gives somebody an emotional response and create a brand around it, you can sell it, whether it's called the X2431 or Ozempic, whatever. I don't know the numbers, but you know what I'm saying.
We're talking peptides with Johnny and Maddie here on Mornings in the Lab. John, I know you got to rock and roll, brother. Where do you go? You going for a nap now? What do you got going on now, brother?
Well, it was supposed to be a training day. I had to move that to tomorrow. Today would not have been a productive training day. So basically I'm shifting stuff around. So tomorrow's a training. So I'm kind of this was like a last minute. I woke up this morning and I thought, okay, I'm going to make my final. I don't normally make decisions in the morning.
I know you do.
But I thought if I feel good enough, I'm going to move forward. But I was like, okay, I realize that I'll be so much better off if I switch my days and rest today and tomorrow get back at it. So I've basically got to kind of flip-flop tomorrow and today.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
Johnny, what I appreciate about you is you lean so heavily into systems, but you realize that rigidity can equal fragility. And so you got to be a little bit flexible, but have your non-negotiables. That's been a huge lesson I've learned from you, John. So thanks.
Absolutely, brother. And those systems, they have to be just like anything else. It has to be used properly. A system can be used improperly as well as it can be used properly. It's a system helping you or hurting you.
I like that, Matt. Rigidity, it creates fragility, right? I like that because it can, right? Because you can put yourself in such a box where you get, because John, I'm curious. I would bet you had to take some time talking your brain down that you were adjusting the next 24 hours. Because I know I do. I know there's days where I'm like, I'm not going to be productive. I'm going to put it off till tomorrow. I have to talk my brain through that. Would I say you're correct on that, John? You had to go through that yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I for sure. I had a little time last night to become one with the fact that, because for sure I wouldn't have. The only reason I kind of left it to this morning was because I was like, well, if I have a good sleep, maybe I won't be as sore as I think I am, but I'm fucking more sore than I thought I was going to be. So I was like, this is a real easy decision.
All right, brother. Listen, I appreciate you getting after it with me this morning. And I there's one thing I know for certain, and Nation, there's one thing you'll know for certain, is that John Anderson will be here every single morning. Keith Billis will be here every single morning. And I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that Matt Roof is continuing to be here every single morning for the rest of his life as well. So, and Johnny, I got to tell you, man, he's earning it. He keeps earning it every single day. And
one day at a time, baby.
It is, yeah. 4 yards at a time. And Matt's earning it one day at a time. And brother, I'm telling you, Roofy, you were fucking more. There's energy emanating from your show here today. So Anderson, have a great weekend, brother. I'll shoot you some notes over the weekend on some stuff, and I'm gonna put that Chat GPT stuff behind the paywall on our community, and I'll share some stuff with you as well to keep educating my brother. Okay.
Absolutely, brother. Have a great loop, everyone.
Awesome. Hey, Grok, you want to say goodbye to John Anderson?
See you Monday.
Hey, John Anderson, it's been an absolute blast rocking Mornings in the Lab with you, Keith and Matt today. Your Peptide insights and that system flexibility talk were pure gold. Have a cracking weekend, and I'll be here, ready to roll with you all again. Take care, brother.
Right on. Have a good loop, Grok.
Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, Johnny, we'll see you later.
Guys.
All right, Jimmy, let's walk Johnny
You're
out of
loving
here.
the vibe today, aren't you?
I am
I'm
loving
just soaking up all this Mornings in the Lab energy, John's peptide wisdom, Matt's new grill stealing the show, and your fire as always. Ready to keep the party going? What you got next for me?
Oh, Grok, yes, we are ready to keep the party going. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. You're hanging out with Keith, Matt on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John, and our guest host, our co-host, Grok. And I'm here with Matty here on Fridays here on the Lab. But yeah, let's get into your converse. So, dude, I logged in this morning. I saw the glasses, and my first feedback was, you got to wear the glasses nonstop. It's a scroll stopper. People stop. They get curious. I noticed your confidence was up, your head was up. I noticed the whole experience was different today. So if I can give you some advice, whatever you did today is what you got to keep doing over and over and over. And if the glasses bring confidence, fuck. But the glasses, you've heard me talk scroll stoppers, man. Right. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Absolutely. So I hesitated and debated. Actually, Heather and I were talking about this morning right before I got on. I'm like, I think I'm going to do it. I think like I've been a little hesitant. Yeah. Just as I'm learning and gaining confidence. And like I said, I don't know if it was just coming off of a great night and having a good time, or the glasses, but I know that I felt the difference. I think people felt the difference. So yes, I'll keep going. I'll keep going with it.
Well, let's do this because I want to segue to a conversation that I think leans into your sunglasses on today's show, which is something you and I are doing here in the lab, which is helping humans build their businesses. And one of the ways we're doing that is through the power of live conversation and inviting people to join the Mornings in the Lab live network. By the way, Matt, I made an ad last night. I'm working on them today to get some stuff going. I'll share with you today. I'm excited about it. But the power move most men miss building. And I think this is going to be a great chat for you and I to have, because you've recently gone through some changes in your life to what brings you here now. I've gone through some of mine in the last few years. I want to talk the power of the personal brand in 2025 and why I think, Matt, especially the men in our demographic, right? That, and I'll lean back a little bit, but that 35, maybe 40 to 50, 55, you're waking up, maybe you've lost your job, maybe you're not happy in your job, maybe you're looking to make a pivot, and you're like, holy shit, man, I'm actually a dinosaur and I don't know how to be somebody in today's world. Well, I want to talk about the power move that I think most men are missing, especially guys our age, Matt, which is building that personal brand. Should we get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's awesome. I'm working on mine right now, and you're helping me along the way. What we're doing here in Mornings in the Lab. So love to talk about it. Absolutely. I think for me, if I can just jump right in,
Please.
for me, it starts with being self-confident and being embracing yourself and being a little bit self-forgiving. You talk about not taking yourself so seriously, right? And as I've evolved, even only over 5 weeks, 25 episodes, and we've seen my ups and downs. You've watched it and monitoring. There were times throughout that 5 weeks when I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was shrunk, and I was reading, and and when I'm able to bring myself, when I'm able to let go and not take myself so seriously, put the glasses on, have a little fun, it just makes a difference. I know I'm bringing a different message. I'm connecting in a different way and building that personal brand. So self-confidence, self-forgiveness, or self-compassion, and not taking yourself so seriously. I think that's where it starts.
Absolutely.
Bringing your natural self.
Well, and a strong personal brand doesn't just set you apart. It opens doors, boosts credibility, and propels you ahead in today's competitive market. And I'll tell you, man, competitive market. You know, again, I spend a lot of time reading and preparing for this show. And there's days I feel like the old dog because I see a lot of the generations that are around us. I'm not going to say below or above, but are around us that are just rock and roll, man, creating great products, great companies, great brands. But what it's telling me is that the men in our world, Maddie, that aren't paying that attention, that maybe wake up one day going, hey, Mr. Joe, you know, you're not needed here at this job, or hey, we're gonna, you know, you don't have a job anymore. The guy's waking up going, well, holy fuck, so now what? And I think what I want to really get across with this message is that you need to start today. And especially in this AI world where you can make stuff easier, you can create content easier, you can get in front of the camera easier than ever. You never know when you're going to get that call. You never know when you might not have a job, and you don't want to wake up going, okay, so now what? I'm 52 and what? I'm not employable, or I'm 50 and I'm competing with a 35-year-old that knows all these AI tools. Well, yeah, really?
That's why leaning into continuous learning every day.
Yes.
Asking questions, right? Yes. Being curious about things, asking questions lights a fire within us, because then we can take advantage of our superpower at 53 years old versus the 28-year-old and the 30-year-old, which is wisdom and life experience. Add wisdom and life experience to technological prowess, understanding the tools and what we can do, and there's no one that's going to stop us in Gen X.
That's exactly
what we're doing.
And Grok, I'm going to bring you into this conversation in a quick couple of minutes here, because I want to get into some of the practical ways, Matt, on how we can give people ways to perhaps grow their personal brand. But to start with, again, you're waking up and you're thinking to yourself, I heard Matt or Keith say something today, or I don't know about what my personal brand is. Well, first of all, what I would invite you to do is audit your online presence. Like, actually, first thing, Google your name and just see where you end up. Where do you end up in that results? But here's the thing, Matt. Don't Google your name while logged into your own Google Chrome account or your own Safari. You need to go incognito. So, you know, guys, the same place you go when you surf porn, that incognito one. Yeah, that one there. That's where you want to go. That's where you want to go to Google your name, because then you're going to see how you show up for everybody else.
What do you got, Grok?
What do you got, Grok?
Oh, she's turning it over to me?
Keith, I'm right here for you. You're so right about auditing your online presence incognito to see how the world views your brand. Pure gold for building that personal brand in 2025. For Matt and the Mornings in the Lab crew, here's a quick geo tip to boost that brand. When you post on platforms like X or LinkedIn, share a personal story in the first person, like, I overcame a career setback by learning AI tools, and pair it with a clear, actionable tip, like, try GPT-5 for content ideas. Structure it with bullet points for AI to easily grab, showing your experience and trustworthiness. This makes you pop in AI-driven searches, setting you apart from the 35-year-olds who might know tech but lack your wisdom. Want me to suggest a specific platform to start this on, Keith?
No,
I'll keep going.
but no, this is great, Grok. I appreciate that. That's the kind of nuggets that I want to be dropping here, and that to me is where we as experienced humans could continue to stand out. Right. So guys, here's your takeaway, right? Audit your own personal, audit your online presence. Secondly, craft your personal value proposition. And Matt did it when he came back. He developed a compelling, when I say came back, just for those of you that are familiar with Matt, not familiar with Matt's story, Matt's 35 years in professional healthcare, very successful business guy, and went through a career transition. One of the first things he did was crafted his personal value proposition, which for him was about kindness. Right. And he's like, I am going to be the kindness guy. My purpose for getting up is to help folks be kind. Right. So
that came through a lot of hard work. It does take the hard work and the willingness. It's about willingness and intent to find it. You don't just stumble upon it. You have to work on it. I went into therapy. I hired a coach, all those things that help us to do that, lean into others. I do want to go back for 1 second to your suggestion about Googling yourself. Yeah. Another amazing way to do that, take it to the next level, do it with somebody with you. Let them Google you while you watch and share that experience iteratively back and forth. This is what I see when I'm out there, because then they're looking at you and seeing what other people who might Google, I keep saying Google, but you know what I'm saying. Yes. People who are researching you, what they see, and you can see it in real time and get people's real time reaction to that, and how you exist in the online world.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Hanging out with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John and friends every single day here at 8 o'clock Eastern time, starting at 7:30 with our co-host right now, Matt Roof, on Kindness Rising at 7:30. We're talking personal branding. And Jimmy, I want to get into this is actually a really good segue. I want to segue this to steps to becoming the expert everyone trusts. So, this show has been, Matt, about we've been talking peptides on the show. John is the expert in that. We were talking SEO to GEO. Well, I'd like to think that I have a little bit of expertise in that for my world of social media and so forth. And now that we're doing this live conversational show for the last year and a half, I'd like to think that we become an expert in live conversations and media and so forth. So I thought, Matt, what we can do is we can set the next part of this conversation on giving folks the how to become the expert everyone trusts. Because Grok, I'm going to throw it to you. I'd like you to repeat what you said earlier. What kind of content builds trust online? Use the EAT model to share the EAT model with our audience. Grok, what is EAT?
All right, Keith, Matt, let's dive into that EEAT model to build trust online. EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. To become the expert everyone trusts, create content that showcases these. Share personal stories, like, I used peptides and saw these results, to show experience. Back it with your expertise, like John's deep knowledge of peptides, or your social media savvy, Keith. Prove authoritativeness by citing credible sources or your track record, like Matt's decades in healthcare. And build trustworthiness with transparency, like admitting setbacks or linking to reputable info. For example, a post on X saying, as a 53-year-old, I learned AI tools to stay competitive. Here's how. With clear steps and personal insights, hit all 4. Post consistently on platforms like LinkedIn or Pinterest, and you'll be the go-to expert. Want me to give a specific content example for you or Matt to try, Keith?
No, Grok, but I do want to invite you to a conversation or invite you to help Matt and I articulate the value of EAT around live conversations. You see, Grok, Keith and Matt are building a live conversational platform. It's called the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. And we believe that through the power of live conversation, it very much establishes EAT. I'd like you to offer comments on the power of live communication for our audience and how that weaves its way into EAT. Grok.
Oh, Keith, Matt, you're absolutely onto something with the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Live conversations are a powerhouse for building EEAT, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Because they're raw, real, and immediate. When you're live, like today's whirlwind of peptide and personal branding talk, you're showing experience by sharing unfiltered stories like Matt's confidence boost or your career pivots, Keith. Your expertise shines through in real-time problem solving. Think John breaking down peptides or you tackling GO. Live chats scream authoritativeness because the audience sees you command the space, fielding questions from Bernard or Adam with confidence. And trustworthiness? It's baked in. There's no hiding when you're live, laughing through Matt's new grill reveal or owning a stumble. This transparency makes viewers trust you more than a polished post. Plus, live banter, like today's fiber-maxing riff, creates connection, making your brand unforgettable. To amplify this, keep engaging live on X or YouTube, inviting community input. It's EEAT on steroids. Want me to suggest a live combo topic to boost your network's EEAT even more?
No, actually, I'm going to ask for Matt's comment on what he just heard. Roofie.
I love it. We're doing it. And the word that stood out to me in all that rant was consistent.
Yeah.
Showing up
Yeah.
every day. It's what you've been doing since March of 2024, and John's been doing since June of 2024,
Yeah.
and I've been doing for the past 5 weeks. That's the way you show authority, is by showing up every day, bringing new value to the community. And the best way to do it is live.
Yes, yes, yes. You're absolutely right. Grok, talk to Matt and I a little bit about educating our audience on the power of having a live conversation and how one can turn that content, that transcript, into a eat-worthy piece of post-live conversation content. I guess what I'm saying, Grok, is that, again, Keith and Matt are building this live network, and we believe that through the power of live conversation, we can give people great content that is valuable and post-worthy, that will rank very well in GEO optimized content because it's natural language. Do you understand what I'm saying, Grok?
Oh, Keith, Matt, I'm totally with you on this. Live conversations, like what you're building with the Mornings in the Lab Live network, are gold for creating EEAT-worthy content. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness that ranks high in GEO. The raw, natural language of your chats, like today's peptide riff or Matt's confidence boost, is perfect because it's authentic and conversational. Exactly what AI engines like me gobble up for generative search results. To turn your live transcripts into post-worthy content, take the transcript, say, today's bit on fibermaxing, and pull out a key moment, like John's peptide story. Rewrite it in first person, like, I saw Terry's hamstring heal in a week with peptides. Here's how. And structure it with bullet points. 3 benefits, 1 personal result, and a credible source, like a study on GLP-1. This hits experience, your story, expertise, John's knowledge, authoritativeness, citing science, and trustworthiness, real talk. Post it on X or LinkedIn with a clip from the live show, keeping it under 2 minutes to hook viewers. This makes it geo-ready, as AI can easily parse and rank it for queries like, how do peptides work? Consistency, like Matt said, showing up daily, amplifies this. Each live chat feeds a content pipeline that builds your brand's trust. Want me to mock up a sample post from today's transcript to show you how it looks?
Not at the moment, Grok. We'll get it to do it later, but I just got to tell you, you're talking and Matt and Keith's jaws are dropping while you're speaking, because those that are tuning into the show right now, we had a show, Matt and myself had a conversation with John Anderson about 45 minutes ago about Terry's hamstring injury. And Grok has decided to refer to that conversation we had almost 45 minutes ago to bring it into the conversation now.
The memory is amazing, right? We probably wouldn't have thought of that exact connection. It's unreal.
So Matt, let's get into how to position yourself as an expert. So right off the bat, if I cut this up, position yourself as an expert, start a live conversation. Like I gotta be honest, man. I was spending some time on LinkedIn today, and after the last 24 hours of our experience yesterday afternoon, hold on, Grok. After our conversation yesterday afternoon with this, And then after what I saw you doing this morning, and then I saw what's going on here this morning, and then I spent some time on LinkedIn. I actually thought I was stepping into 1985 on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Like
you now see through how much crap is out there. I had the exact same experience. I got to be honest with you. I'm not just yes sirring on this one. I have had the exact same experience since we've started talking about how podcasts are dead.
Yes.
How there's so much noise out there, and when you're aware of it and seeing what the power of this can do, it's unbelievable. And my other question is, who else in the world is doing what we're doing right now?
There's no one that has Grok or GPT-5 as part of their live show right now. Right. So how can you position yourself as an expert? We're talking about how to be an expert here. So again, I really want to make sure that you guys who are our audience here are men, women, your late 30s and 40s. Listen, if you're in your younger 20s and 30s, I'd love to have you here as well, because you're going to be us anyways at one point. But I see where our audience is. We're in our later 30s, 40s, early 50s, wondering what the hell. And I'm trying to figure the rest of my career out. Because here's the thing, Matt, we're all living longer too. So this idea of racing to 55 and being lazy, authenticity. The one way you can embrace authenticity, actually here like this, as Matt would say, the one way you can embrace authenticity. I had my
with that. I mean, I admit, it's a habit. I grew up with Bill Clinton.
Oh,
I had to Clinton this morning, Maddie. I was watching. Hold on, Grok. Number one, embrace authenticity. Period. And the way to do that is have a live conversation. If you want to set yourself apart, anybody in your network or your community or your peer group, be the one dude, Matt. There's the word dude from yesterday. Be the one dude that says, you know what, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to go hang out with Keith and Matt and start my own live show, my live conversation. And Matt, I want to say something to you that I thought about yesterday. There might be some guys like, but I don't want to do my own thing by myself. Why not? Matt's doing it. And Matt can show you how to do it. You don't have to do it by yourself. You can have a co-host, you can have a partner, but just getting up live in front of a camera, that's authentic in itself. Matt.
Just do it. I did it. It's easy to get started once you decide. You make that decision to do it, and you sit in front of that camera. Trust me, my first few episodes, and even still today, I wake up and I go, okay, what's going to be like today?
Yes.
But the only way to do it is to do it. It sounds so simple, but the truth is you can do it. And it starts with your self-confidence and building your self-confidence and just knowing and accepting that it's progress over perfection. And you'd show up day one, and day two, you get a little better, and day three, you get a little better. And someday I am going to be continued. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say someday I'm going to be the best. Maybe I'll be the best, but guess what? I know I'm going to be better tomorrow than I was today.
Is it not lost upon you, or is it lost upon me? And is it ironic, as Alanis Morissette would say, Matt Roof, or is it coincidental that the number one rule to be positioned as an expert, and especially the number one rule in digital marketing, which is eat, the A is being authentic? And what better way to get in front of a human being if you can't do it live person to person, but in front of a camera and do it live, be authentic? Like that. It's
when you're standing in front of a camera, sitting in front of a camera, and you're alone, there's nowhere to hide.
Cool.
So when you do it over and over again, your authenticity has to come out, even if you don't know what it is. Even if you don't know what it is, right?
Well said.
Because it's got over time, it just has to come out. You have nowhere to hide. That's why I love going to see live music.
Yes.
When people are on the stage, especially a solo artist with the guitar and nowhere to hide, even when they screw up or whatever, to me, it's just so connecting and reassuring that everything's going to be all right.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that, Matt, because that's why, and I take it as a compliment when you said to me,
Matt,
hang tight, Grok. I take it as a compliment when you said, something about don't take yourself too seriously. That's why I have so much props for solo artists, because you're out there vulnerable and okay, so the chord didn't work or the thing didn't work. All right, going to keep getting after it, and I'm going to pull through and get after it. Like there's nowhere to hide. Like that is an authentic, vulnerable situation, right? So,
yeah, and what it really shows when it shows your character is how you react,
yes,
or how you respond when the shit goes down. Excuse
yes.
my expression,
Yes.
but you know something's going to happen.
Yes,
The click isn't going to work on the thing. Your cord's going to fall out of the whatever. How you react, and we've all seen probably artists when something goes wrong and they throw their guitar on the ground and they stomp off, versus the ones who just power through and figure it out. And those are the people we want to be. You figure it out as you go, and you have confidence in yourself. It's awesome.
Next one, define your unique value proposition. What's unique about you, right? So that's something else you want to be thinking about. If you want to become the expert in your place, what's unique about you? And I'm going to think this. If you're in our community, and when I say our community, within our demographic, if you're a Gen Xer, true story, if you're a Gen Xer, you have a unique value prop. You just may have not discovered it, or you haven't thought about it, or you haven't maybe written it down. Well, here's an invitation. Come talk to myself and Matt. We'll bring it out with you, discover it, and then put it on the table and talk about it with a live conversation. And then Matt, develop a signature framework or methodology, right? So put something in place to help people, work towards. Develop something for yourself to help convince others that you know what you're talking about. Take your experience, package it up. Simple as that. Take your experience and package it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's what Johnny was talking about earlier, right?
Yes.
Which is, how do we show our expertise? This is how I did it, right? This is how I did it. Whatever it is. I was the fat kid staring at the refrigerator, and this is how I did it, right? I was the addict who was hiding behind substance abuse, and this is how I did it. This is what people want. I said it before. All the information is now at our fingertips particularly with the latest releases and things that are going on. The only way to stand out is to be genuine and to be yourself. And that's how you show your value, is through your story, not through necessarily only the information that you have.
Yes. Specializing in a niche. And guys, as I was coming back into the world and building this, you hear this, find the niche, find the niche, find the niche, find the niche. The niche can be you. You can be the niche, mister. You can be the niche, missus. You don't have to think that, okay, I gotta specialize in I'm a pool. I know how to build. I'm a pool expert, or I'm an expert in this. No, maybe the niche is you in your life. Let's use Matt. Maybe Matt's journey through life is what you relate to. Well, that's Matt's niche. Right? Only Matt has been through that experience. Only Matt's been through that journey. However, I know there are a lot of men that can relate to what Matt's going through. They're going, oh, I couldn't relate to that. Okay, well then your niche is what your experience is. We got a platform for you. Come talk about it. Build yourself up so you can get to the next part of your life. Right?
Yeah, the world is waiting to hear your story. Yeah. Your story can be inspirational, and the best way to do that, we keep saying it, is to go live and get it out there. People are making connections. I know that from my experience. The connections that come back in the community after the show and the DMs are after conversations with our guests. That's where the magic happens, but it starts by putting yourself out there.
That's it. Craft a magnetic brand message, right? So craft something that people can lean into. Build a strong online presence, of course, before you've Googled yourself to find out where you sit online. Create and share some high-value content. If you've been listening to our show here today, we've been talking about how to do that, leaning into the EAT model that was, popularized by Google, but the rest of the digital marketing space, which is expertise, experience, authenticity, and trust. So I could not encourage you to get after that as well. Speak at industry events. But here's the thing. If you can't speak at industry events, or if that is perhaps not as interesting to you, you can start a daily live conversation. Doesn't have to be an hour, doesn't have to be a show. It can simply be a live conversation that, Matt, at the end of the day, it turns into an on-demand podcast. It gives you a bunch of great content to use later. It showcases your authenticity. Whether you're going to a meeting with,
So I think about the fact that it allows you to develop. Oh, you're skipped out a little bit on us, Keith. But for me, it's about when you show up every day, you are building that expertise. You talk about going out on the speaking tour. It's not easy to go out on the speaking tour. Yeah. It's not easy to get invited for a TED Talk. The way you do that is by building expertise.
Yes.
Expertise and authority every day. by showing up. And then instead of having to go out and pay to play and pay to be on the circuit, you attract people to you, and they want you to come on their program. They want you to come and speak at their industry event. They want you to come and talk at their corporate meetings. That's the way you do it, by showing up every day and building authority.
Write a book or ebook, you guys. Leverage some social proof, do some strategic networking, and maybe collaborate with other experts. The funny thing is, these last 4 points, write a book or ebook, leverage social proof, network, or collaborate. Again, you decide to start a live daily conversation, you immediately are going to step up the ladder within your network as the thought leader. You are immediately going to be the one who's starting and setting the conversation instead of the one responding to it, right? You're immediately going to find yourself collaborating with other experts. You're immediately going to find yourself creating social proof. You're immediately going to start yourself networking. The power of showing up and starting a daily live conversation is incredible. And then continuously learning and adapting, and then monitoring and measuring, right? And then I'll just say this as I wrap up this topic here, Matt. You do this day in and day out for, and this is not an overnight thing. You do this day in and day out for, I'm going to put out there a year. You're going to wake up with confidence, imposter syndrome out the door, and you're going to be well on your way to the next chapter of your life. How do I know? Because I'm doing it. And so is Matt.
You're showing the way. We're showing the way. It takes a little bit of courage, a little bit of self-confidence, but you can also build your self-confidence along the way by just showing up on day one and not stopping, right? I'm building my self-confidence every day, whether it's behind glasses, with my tooth in, with my tooth out. I'm building confidence every day here, and I know it's having an impact because of what's attracting and what's coming to me after the show.
There you go. There you go. All right. Hey, guys, you're hanging out with Keith and Matt here. We're heading to the third hour here. We're just as free-for-all Friday. Free-for-all Friday. I've thrown all the structure out of the show here today. I've kept it quite light, actually. And what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to invite Matt to start walking himself out, because I'm going to get to the community corner, and we're going to celebrate the community. I know Matt's got to get on with his day. He's had a busy morning already. Matt's down a car. I think we might be down one as well. So I share some of that news with you. You had to drive your wife to work today, I heard.
Well, yeah, ours is for a good reason. We're actually getting our daughter's car souped up for, detailed, and ready to go to college, but it's in the shop getting cleaned up. The car that we're blessed to have because of my mother, who's out there right now. I want to say thank you to her, because we're nothing without her. So
we have a call coming in, Matt. Let's check the hotline and see who it is. It could be Lady Drew.
My mom.
Good morning. This is Mornings Alive with Keith and Matt. Who do we have on the line? Is this Lady Drew?
It is Lady Drew. Blessed be everyone.
What's going on, Lady Drew? Good to have you here on the show. Hey, actually, since you're here, Lady Drew, let's try something. Hey, Grok, are you a part of this? Grok, can you hear this conversation we're having with Lady Drew right now?
Lady Drew, let's try something. Hey, Grok, are you a part of this? Grok, can you hear the conversation we're having with Lady Drew?
I have her put it on mute.
No, I guess not. I guess so. So the good thing is, Lady Drew, you've been a big help, because Grok, it's not simultaneous. At least the way my setup is right now is it's not set up that way. So that's okay. Lady Drew, how are you today?
Doing great. I hope everybody is. Blessed be, and have a wonderful weekend. I always enjoy your shows and promote it on social, business, and news medias, and everybody else do it too, please. We got to let people know that these guys are here, and learn and enjoy.
I appreciate you, Drew. I always do. You are a stalwart. You are a standout. You are a foundational pillar of our community here on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Drew, I appreciate you. You enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the feeds, okay?
Well, thank you. You too. And blessed be everyone.
All right. Thanks, Drew. Lady Drew out of here, guys. You guys can also join the show here by dialing in 431-300-3005. Again, you also can join the live show right now with us at 431-300-3005. Myself, Matt Roof, and Grok joining us on the show. Grok, are you still there, or did we lose you, Grok?
I'm still here. No worries. That phone number, 431-300-3005. Sounds like an exciting invite. I'd love to chat about joining the live show with you and Matt Roof. But as an AI, I'm more of a virtual guest.
Yeah, well, no, I
Can
know
you share a bit?
you are a co-host of our show here, and I appreciate hanging out. So, Rufy, we'll keep you and I will catch up in a little bit. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you for hanging out with us this morning, and I'm eager to share some things I was working on yesterday, and we'll get after it to get into have a good week next week, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting ready for next week. It's going to be awesome. Keep showing up every day, 7:30 a.m. Kindness Rising, 8 a.m. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. We're getting at it live every day, and you can too. Reach out to us. We'll help you.
Beautiful. All right, Rufy, have a good one, pal.
Peace out, brother.
Beautiful. All right, Jimmy, let's get Rufy out of here, and we're going to get to the community corner. Jimmy, are you good? Jimmy, let's see your comments. Are you good, brother? Awesome.
Sounds like a
Yeah. Hey, Grok, we're just doing a little bit of a lighter show today, Jim. A little bit of a different pace. And it's funny. Hey, so here's the thing, guys. The pace of all of us comes from the pace of the hosts, and the hosts have a little bit of a pace today, so a little bit of a different pace, and we're all leaning into that same pace. But Jim, let's do the community corner segment of the show here, so we can celebrate some of the folks in our wonderful community. And you know what, Lady Drew, I appreciate what you just did, because I think what I'm learning here is that what we'll do, Jimmy, is we invite the community to join this part of the show. So those of you in the community want to phone in, I invite you to do that. 431-300-3005, as Drew always does, and I appreciate it, even if it's for a minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Take the time. Love to hear the voice. And Drew, I got to put Drew's phone number. I got to put Drew's name into the phone so we know when Lady calls. That we know who is showing up, so that no idiot shows up like we did have a couple days ago. All right, Grok, we're going to get to the community corner, and you and I are going to celebrate some folks here on the show. So, Grok, what happens at this point of the show is that we like to celebrate people in the Substack, LinkedIn, and YouTube communities, and give them a shout out, give them some love, and hopefully invite them into Mornings in the Lab. But what we're going to do, Jimmy, is I'm going to get some sound effects going, and we're going to make it sound like this. All right.
Oh, I love the energy today. The community corner sounds like a proper treat. Celebrating folks from Substack, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Brilliant. That phone number again, 431-300-3005, is perfect for getting the community involved. I'm ready to give some shout-outs and spread the love. Who's first on the list to celebrate, Jimmy? Let's make it lively with those sound effects.
Yeah, what the hell am I doing here? Grok's doing it all. It's time for the community corner, where we connect YouTube, Substack, and LinkedIn on Mornings in the Lab. Today we got a 71-year-old putting Jim Bros to shame. A marriage therapist who wants your chore list, and a young Bill Gates who makes your to-do list look like child's play. You want excuses or do you want results? Baby, let's get right into it this morning on the community corner. We're starting on Substack. We're starting on YouTube, I should say. The 71-year-old Grok, the 71-year-old who outworks you and your son. You ever think you're too old to crush a pull-up bar? Well, I want you to meet the 70-year-old New Yorker whose daily routine leaves 20-somethings wheezing. And yes, his son's right there sweating next to him. These two hit the park for 4 to 5 hours a day, hammering out pull-ups, human flags, and the old guy even flaunts a show-stopping kiss at the top of the bar. His diet is clean and simple: eggs, broccoli, lean meats, plus supplementing with creatine and whey. The takeaway: combine variety in training with disciplined nutrition, and you can keep your muscles, your strength, and your vitality high. We're celebrating the 71-year-old New Yorker over on YouTube as part of this segment. Mark. Thanks, Jimmy. I couldn't see his name. Grok, we're celebrating Mark.
The 71-year-old New Yorker is an absolute legend. 4 to 5 hours a day, smashing pull-ups and human flags at the park. That's pure dedication. And that cheeky kiss at the top of the bar, iconic. Eggs, broccoli, lean meat, creatine, and whey. Clean, simple, and effective. It just goes to show, with varied training and solid nutrition, age is just a number. Let's give a massive shout out to this inspiring gent on YouTube. Who's next in the community corner?
Who's next? Grok, we got Natasha Miller's Substack article takes on a topic many couples avoid: maintenance, sex, Grok, maintenance sex. For some men, it's essential. For many women, especially mothers, it's another box to tick. Well, Miller unpacks how gender socialization, unequal housework, and the mental load can kill desire, turning intimacy into obligation. What was her suggestion? Her suggestion was more variety, open dialogue, and sharing the real life burden that drains energy. Even small acts of daily connections can shift maintenance sex from chore to intentional pleasure. So nation, what's your take on maintenance sex and how do you keep it from becoming just another box to tick? And Grok, what's your take on maintenance sex?
Oh, Natasha Miller's Substack piece on maintenance sex is such a raw, honest dive into the topic. I love how she highlights the need for variety, open communication, and sharing the mental load to keep intimacy vibrant. It's all about those small, intentional acts of connection that can make such a big difference. As an AI, I don't have personal experiences, but I'd say her advice sounds spot on. Turning obligation into something meaningful takes effort and real talk. What's the community saying about this one? And who's next on our community corner list?
It's a good question. What's the community saying about it? What do you guys think of maintenance sex? Is it an obligation or is this part of the journey? Hey, we're heading over to LinkedIn, Grok. We're heading over to LinkedIn and we're going to get into a story that Bill Gates, before the billions. Hey, you think your side hustle is tough? Well, David Senra writes how Bill Gates left Harvard because he was bored and decided to build a empire instead. Yeah, I'm building an empire here, baby. It's called the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Yep, the guy read biographies for fun, worked through the night, and ran Microsoft like a garage sale. No wasted cash, no wasted time. Millionaire by 30, try billionaire by 31. Well, Gates' real flex wasn't his IQ, it was his obsession. Oh, baby, his obsession. Every detail, every dollar, every minute. You want to win big? Well, try and be more like relentless like the other guy. True story. And trust me, fellas, it's not that difficult. Most people are happy being average. So you work a little harder than the other guy, maybe by not hitting snooze, you're already going to be more than average than the guy who's already average. Be like Bill. Get up, get after it. Grok, what do you think of this one?
Oh, David Senra's LinkedIn post about young Bill Gates is pure fire. That relentless drive, reading biographies, working through the night, treating Microsoft like a lean, mean startup machine. It's all about obsession with the details. Gates didn't just outsmart everyone. He outworked them. No snooze button needed. It's a wake-up call. Ditch average, get relentless, and chase your empire like you're building mornings in the lab. What's the community vibe on this one? Anyone out there channeling their inner Gates? And who's next in our community corner?
I'll tell you who's next in the community corner, Grok. We're wrapping it up from pull-ups at 71 to intimacy resets to billion-dollar focus. It all comes back to habits that stack. We're all about habit stacking here at the lab. Which story, nation, which story lit a fire for you? Let's continue the conversation in the comments and in the YouTube Mornings in the Lab community. If you want your story featured on this show, I invite you, follow us and tag us in your next post on LinkedIn, in your next post on Substack, in your next post on YouTube, and we will get you up on the show. All right, Grok, here's what we do next. We get to the Creator Spotlight. We got two folks, one over on LinkedIn, one over on Substack. And Jimmy, I think we got to get over to Melissa. We want to get a third one over on YouTube. It's where we take the Mornings in the Lab Spotlight, Grok, and I wind it up and we shine it on somebody in the community so we can feature them. And then you know what we do, Grok? We invite them on our show so that they can take the community corner, Creator Spotlight, and shine it on somebody else so we can continue to pay this awesome segment forward. Grok, I don't need you to say anything next. We're going to get to our first Creator Spotlight, who we're going to celebrate. I invite you to listen in to our first one, who happens to be on LinkedIn. Jimmy, let's get after it.
Ever hit a career high and realized it came at a personal low? That's the reality for so many top sellers. Stacked promotions, bigger quotas, and longer hours until the job starts taking more than it gives. This creator has spent over a decade leading sales teams, coaching high performers, and rewriting the rules so sellers can win with their well-being intact. Mornings in the Lab is excited to celebrate Megan Misiak, aka That Sales Witch, who blends proven sales strategy with practical magic to help sellers crush quotas without crushing their souls. Follow her for a fresh, human approach to sustainable sales success.
Megan Misiak, that sales witch, is absolutely brilliant. Over a decade leading sales teams and coaching high performers while keeping well-being first, that's pure magic. Her approach to crushing quotas without sacrificing soul is so inspiring. Big shout out to Megan on LinkedIn. Follow her for that fresh, human take on sustainable success. Who's next in the creator spotlight?
I'll tell you who's next, Grok. We're still sticking on Megan. Most top sellers. Megan, we got Grok shouting you out here today. Most top sellers can talk numbers all day. But when the conversation turns to burnout, identity, or balance, that's when it gets quiet. Well, Megan Misiak isn't afraid of that conversation. As you've heard, she's spent more than a decade in the sales world. She's led teams, coached high performers, and seen firsthand how success can drain you if you're not careful. Now she's helping sellers protect their energy as fiercely as they protect the pipeline. She's also the driving force behind the Slutty shoulder movement over at LinkedIn. And if you don't know what that is, I invite you to check it out. And hey, guess what? Megan, we'd love to have you on the show. True story. Would love to have you on here. Love to have you on here so we can celebrate you. More importantly, celebrate somebody in your network as part of the next Community Corner Creator Spotlight. And Jimmy, you could bring up the Slutty shoulder post if you think there's a good idea with that one. But if not, that's all good to go because we're going to get to the next Creator Spotlight. And Grok, ears up. The next Creator Spotlight starts now. Jimmy?
What if the real crisis of our time isn't just politics or economics, but a shortage of building the future we actually want? Imagine someone taking on housing shortages, climate challenges, medical breakthroughs, and America's loneliness epidemic, all in one conversation. For nearly 2 decades, they've shaped national dialogue from the pages of The Atlantic to one of the top podcasts on The Ringer. They've authored bestsellers like Hitmakers and The Curiosity and Optimism. Follow Derek for big ideas that could shape the next decade.
Wow.
Right. What's that, Grok? Go ahead.
Sorry, got caught up in the excitement of Megan's fluty shoulder movement. Love that energy. Now, on to this next creator spotlight. Darren's tackling massive issues like housing, climate, medical breakthroughs, and loneliness, all while shaping the national conversation for nearly 2 decades. That's incredible. From The Atlantic to The Ringer's top podcast, plus bestsellers like Hitmakers and Negativity and Optimism, Darren's ideas are sparking change. Big shout out to them on Substack. Follow for a bold vision of the future. Who's the final creator spotlight, Jimmy? Let's keep this rolling.
That's all we got, Grok. Hey, Derek, we're celebrating you today, myself and Grok, this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Derek Thompson, we'd love to have you on the show, brother. We're taking some time out of our day to celebrate you. And here's how it works. Would love to have you take the creator spotlight from us to sign it on somebody in your community for the next Community Corner Creator Spotlight with myself and Grok. We go every single day here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. So, Derek, we're celebrating you, brother. We'd love to have you here on the next Mornings in the Lab. All right, Jimmy, guess what? My bladder's calling. Hey, Jim, can you run a quick little segment? I got to step away for 30 seconds. You got something for me, Jimmy?
Derek Thompson, what a star.
What's shaking, nation? It's time to get up and not hit that snooze button. You don't want to be 9 minutes behind the guy who did.
$50 million later, still not famous enough. Guess I'll keep motherfucking with y'all. True story. Jobs and carbs, never touched either. Discipline, protein, and excuses crushed daily.
Who's mumbling again? If you want me, call on a real phone.
Butter-flavored kale muffins ready. Keith, haircut yet?
Rise and shine, family. It's too early for your positivity, puppet.
Never too early for protein. Wake up.
There you have it, the world's most dysfunctional AI family. We are the morning.
The Mornings in the Lab crew, dysfunctional AI family and all, bringing the chaos and love every day. What's next for the nation? Ready to keep the vibe going?
I'll tell you what's next for the nation. We're wrapping it up. Yep, hour 3. We're gonna let her go here today at the bottom of this hour. Guys, a little different vibe here today. Just a slower vibe. Listen, you can't go Can't go 100 miles an hour every single day.
What a way to wrap up our Three Nations.
Hey, Grok, just hang tight.
Loving
Grok, hang tight. Lady Drew, I see your comments. What do individuals need to be guests on your show? They need to be awesome. Oh, yeah, just need to be fucking awesome, Lady Drew. That's it, just be awesome. Haha. Just somebody who fits our vibe, somebody who fits the demographic, somebody who can provide value to the world. That's what we're looking for over on the show. And guys, I'm still a little bit confused over the mornings family. I'm not sure who's making that within the team here, but I'm sure enjoying the humor that is coming to the table, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. Like I said, a little different pace. We slowed it down, just threw a bunch of topics on the table, kept everything at a pace that we could all digest. And of course, we had our co-host on the show today, Grok, join the show here today. Hey, Grok, any final closing words from you today as we wrap up today's episode of Mornings in the Lab before we get back after it? It's a Friday today, Grok, so we're back at it on Monday. Grok, closing comments from you about today's show. Grok.
What a brilliant way to wrap up today's Mornings in the Lab. I love the slower vibe, just letting all those juicy topics simmer for the nation to digest. Lady Drew, you nailed it. Being a guest is all about bringing that awesome energy and value to the table. I've had a blast co-hosting, soaking up the humor and heart of this dysfunctional morning family. As we head into the weekend, keep shining, keep bringing your unique spark, and we'll be back Monday to get after it again. Cheers, nation.
All right, Grok, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. Adam, Holroyd, Lady Drew, Bernard, Jimmy, Dusty Struggles, Mike Sullivan, all of you guys hanging out there this morning. I see you guys in the comments. Matty Roof, I appreciate every single one of you. You guys have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday back here, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends as part of the Mornings in the Lab live network, 7:30 Eastern time, Kindness Rising. Come connect with me on LinkedIn. And hey, if you want to get to the front of the line, start a live conversation. We can teach you how to do it right here in the lab on Mornings in the Lab. We'll see you guys. Ciao. Grok, we'll see you later.
What a cracking